I play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes, get white out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. Y'all know what time it is. Nets every day, all day. I got my boy Leaf up here. What's good, Leaf?
Yo, what's good, man? Shout out everything Nets. Shout out Nets Twitter. Shout out your page, man. Tip Off Brooklyn Nets podcast, man. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, man. What's going on with it? Yo.
Yeah, you already know. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to talk about today. Will the Nets regret not drafting a true center? You know what I mean? I know we drafted Danny, and Danny is hella nice. Everybody is high on Danny. Higher than I thought. You know what I'm saying? I know you was high on Danny because I put you on the Danny, Mr. Danny Wolf with the handles. But now I seen today on TikTok that the Nets at 19 was looking to draft Hanson Yang, the Chinese center,
Right.
early. So they said Portland took him early because they knew other teams, even though he was ranked to be drafted in the second round, they knew other teams would go after him early, and they traded down from their pick to I think they went down like 8 spots or 10 spots just to make sure they dropped down far enough to get him before somebody else drafted him. And that's what, and they started the center, you know what I'm saying, drafting the centers early. That would cause all the centers to go up, the young centers to go off the board early because they knew that other teams were going to go after them. And they said the Nets and the Timberwolves, the Nets and the Timberwolves was the two teams that was going to go after him at whatever number they was at. I know he was at 19. I don't remember what the Timberwolves is at. So that tells me that they was looking to draft a center. You know what I'm saying? At that point. So my thought process is they didn't go after Raynard. They left Raynard on the border and they got Danny. But you already know, I think he's a power forward. And Hanson was a true center. Raynard is a true center. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
I think Portland is some straight up assholes for that. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like they I mean it's always a team that's always on some hating ish, man. But I didn't think it was gonna be Portland, bro. I thought they initially had their roster. What they basically saying is that Yang Henson, bro, like is probably gonna be at minimum the best center of this draft, bro. He better be for as much as they sacrifice for him. Man. I mean, I had got word that we was looking at Yang Henson at 19. That probably would have left Nolan Trayor to get picked at 22, and maybe Drake would have went at 26, and Danny Wolf would have went at 27. That's the way I thought our board was gonna go. Had we had Yang Henson, I think a lot of people would have felt a lot better about our draft board than they do right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we gave up the second round pick, which was probably going to be Kalkbrenner or Traore, whatever his name is, athletic kid, bro. Like I think he messed around and went to the Lakers.
Theoro,
Right. Maxim Renard, to my knowledge, is going to the Kings. And I think who else was in that round? We talked about Kalkbrenner, Max Arena, and Rasheed Fleming is going to the Timberwolves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are 3 guys that we looked at as like some of our front court players. Kalkbrenner was probably gonna be the best second round pick at minimum if it ain't Rasheed. Like one of them 3 is gonna be the best second round pick. I'm surprised Rasheed Fleming went that far down, but I mean, that's how the overclassman is, man. So I mean, especially in today's game, because a lot of people was just drafting youth, and Yang Henson is only 18 years old, and he already shown promise. They calling him Asian Jokic. I mean, everybody want to be Jokic nowadays at the center position, bro. Like, I mean, as far as I know, he could clear the paint. He led an entire continent in blocks if I'm not mistaken, bro. I think he
Yeah,
led that like
he did.
2 or 3 leads in blocks or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, he in the post, like outside of Danny Wolf, I think he probably got the most juice in the post, bro. Like out of everybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Derek Queen. I think Derek Queen is ill. I think a lot of I think Danny Wolf just has the most overall offensive ability. But realistically, I think Yang Henson probably he might have the higher ceiling
Yeah.
out of all the three. He might have the higher ceiling. So yeah, Portland they did some dirty shit. They did some dirty shit, man. And they knew. I just didn't think they was gonna strike and pull a trigger on that just so fast. Um, a lot of people was looking for us to move up in the draft a little bit. We wound up getting an extra pick, which became Drake Powell, which I think is gonna be a good pick for us. But I mean, we got what we got, man. I ain't gonna cry over spilled milk, man. It's just gonna find a toilet paper and a paper towel to clean it up, man. So
But this, not the question now, LB. I see you up here on the panel. But the question now is, does it kind of explain what happens during the draft and why you don't get certain players because other teams are trying to scheme, like you know what I'm saying, to get to a certain spot because they know, like, if I wait too long, this player is going to be off the board, type shit. And you see Hanson went that early before 19.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Where he was not supposed to be at. They were saying like
mhm,
20, 30, 35 was his range. And he
right.
goes way, way higher than that. So that tells me like the Nets was focused on getting the center. It might not have been Maluach. And I also, did you see that video with what's LeBron's dude name? The manager, Rich Paul.
Yeah,
Rich,
Rich Paul.
did you see that he said with Maluach, he called the Suns and asked them if they interested in Maluach, and he would try to get him as far down if they got back up to 10 or whatever it was, that he would try to make sure that Maluach got to 10 so they can draft him.
I seen that video, bro. If I'm not mistaken, it like I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not mistaken, that should be tampering. If I'm not mistaken, bro. Like, but I just don't know.
Yo,
What's the tampering rules in terms of the agents, in terms of agency or whatever. But yeah, Portland. You know what the crazy thing is, bro? That wasn't even Portland's pick. That was Memphis pick. They traded it to Orlando for Bane, and then Orlando traded it to Portland, and it was like I'm like, wait, what? Why is Portland getting in this business, bro? What the hell? They already got their team. They got young pieces already, but apparently they wanted Yang Henson, man, and that was another piece that fell off the board. But this is what I've been trying to tell Nets fans the entire time. From having 2 picks from at 8 and 19 is extremely dangerous because the players that you want in between that range is most likely going to be gone. It's a high chance of them being gone, and then you got to pivot, and then this is how picks like Ben Surratt happens. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
I mean,
yeah. So it kind of explains the some of the reason why we got what we got. LVL John. Today's topic is: will the Nets regret not drafting the true
yeah,
center? Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
said.
It definitely does.
right.
So,
I saw. Yeah,
so
I
I'm gonna
saw
say,
the.
did you hear the beginning? Like Portland
Mm-hmm.
drafted Hanson Yang. They said that Brooklyn Nets was going to draft Hanson Yang in 19. And Portland took him off the board early because they knew that the Timberwolves and the Nets was interested in drafting him, and they knew that we had pick 19, so they drafted him earlier than that. And then we end up getting Danny. But the point is, they was looking for a center. It might not have been Maluach, because I just explained what happened to Maluach, but they was looking at Hanson Yang, and Portland took him early. So what I was saying is, are they going to regret not drafting a true center and regret it later, even though we got Danny, and I think Danny is a power forward. So what's your thoughts on that?
Listen, I think it was egregious error by Marks to not pick Maliwak, and I saw the video with Rich Paul saying, "Oh, I'll get him to you, Matt Ishiba," and like to Leaf's point, that's tampering, man. I think it could be an argument that's some type of tampering right there. But this is the thing with Sean Marks; he's very gullible. I mean, he had superstars, bully their way across to get where they want to. Mikhail bullied his way. Now you have an agent bullying Maliwak to where he wants to go. It's like Sean Marks, we're going to stand your ground and make the best decision for the team, not for other people. So if that was what happened, I definitely think that was a huge miss right there because Maliwak defensively fits what Jordy's trying to create. Maliwak's an international guy. Like, I felt like that would have been a great combination. We could have moved off of Claxton, but you didn't do that. You didn't go after any big, not even a Reynard, who was a 7-footer that you and me talked in great detail about. So not getting a big in this draft, it was really an egregious move by Mark's organization because unless they feel Danny Wolf can be a combo big of a 4 or 5, he still needs to get stronger. People worry about the physicality aspect on defense with Wolf. If he gets stronger, maybe you could play him at the 5 in the future. But right now, I think he'd be a decent, really a good 4 for us. But yeah, not getting a big in this draft was really shocking to me for so many reasons because there were a lot of good bigs out there that could have been our potential center of the future. Now you don't have a center. You're hoping to convert Danny Wolf into a big, which could have a high risk, high reward, or a low risk, not good reward. So yeah, there's definitely some question marks with what Danny Wolf's real progression will be. I think you feel great about his offensive potential, but not getting a big in this draft, I think it really was a stinker for the Brooklyn Nets base because they really wanted a big that can actually handle the best bigs on any given night in the future. Now you're, I guess, hoping you can recoup Claxton's value if you don't trade him this summer. But still, even having all these playmakers, what if Claxton's value just keeps getting worse? Then you're kind of stuck with Claxton at that point. So yeah, I definitely think not getting a draft, not getting a center this year was a failure by Mark's organization. If Maliwak does progress with the Suns, I think that was a huge miss if you Sean Marks an organization.
Well, I don't think. I think they wanted more. I don't think Mally Watch is the passer Danny and the rest of the guys are. Hanson Yang, but he is the rim protector. I think that might have been the difference. LBL, what you think about this situation, bro?
Yeah, so I saw the video with Paul. It just shows that there's movers and shakers, right? And that league. So but in terms of what John was just saying, that John, I keep saying we can't go worry about positions. Positions don't matter. All that matters is just getting the best talent available. So
That was
whether it's,
Maliwak.
well, but if it's Maluwak, well, see, some people could say it's Maluwak, but then some people could have said it's Queen. You could say it's Queen for offense and Maluwak's for defense. So there are different ways, or someone could have said it's Esengwe, because I said once Ace and Fears was gone, then I wanted Esengwe because I wanted the most upside. That's what I wanted. So then I worry about everything later. So we can't worry about. Listen, when you know you're committed to a tank, you don't really care about position because you need positions everywhere you go. You need it all over the place. So that's why I'm saying it didn't really matter. Now I wouldn't have said get 3 point guards. Don't get 3 people from the same position if they're not overtly the best people. But I'm saying in terms of Maluwak or whatever, I mean, some of these guys are gonna develop and some of them are not gonna reach their whole potential. And it's based on what team, what structure, and everything else that they go to. So the only thing I'm saying with Mayuwak, that look when I was looking at Mayuwak, I was looking at he's tradable, because he is a big man who could get rebounds, he can block shots, he can shoot the three, and he's still young and he's played with men. So, that's a good thing. But in terms of I'm not gonna cry over it just being Maluwak because Queen went 13th, and some people might have had Queen over them and on their board as well. Only
So
thing
what?
I'm saying, so go ahead.
What do you think about this? Because I said that it was reported that Portland took Hanson Yang off the board earlier than what was than his what I'm saying, his range to go in.
Yeah, I
And
remember. Yeah.
yeah, and they took him because they knew that the Timberwolves and Nets was interested in Yang. It was
Mhm.
reported that we was interested in Yang, and what I'm saying is they was going to draft him as a center. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't
Yes.
get him, they took Danny at the end. But it tells me that they were looking for a center. I guess because he was younger and he had, you know what I'm saying, he could pass, he could move, he could block shots, he could do everything like Danny. But he's a true center. So my question
Mhm.
to you is: are they going to regret not drafting the other true center? You know what I mean, like Reynard or Parkbrenner. You know what I'm saying? And just
See,
and
I
took
would say,
Danny.
okay.
I don't think we are, because we're gonna be in the shitter anyway. But I'm like, so
Well,
I mean, it is
I
what it
think
is.
they might regret getting I think they might regret getting Reynald, because to me he was one of the best centers. Wasn't the
Right.
best, not the best potentially. I mean, like not the highest upside, but he was what he was. He was the play. He was the
Uh,
ace in a conference with Maluwak and with Cooper Flag. He was the ACC Player of the Year. Let's not
Facts.
forget that. So he was like, think he was second in scoring and led them in rebounding, right? Something like that. He was like
Yes,
the
yes,
top
yep,
two.
yep.
So this is what I'm saying. He could play. And I'm saying, so when we talk about this, that's why I'm saying when it comes to some of the other guys, it's not so much like we all like bugging out because of the order and because like Sean Marks doesn't seem to have a plan, even though this could be his purposeful plan, that this is just the way he wants to play. Whether LBL hates it or not, it doesn't matter. He wants to play like this, and it's like there's nothing I could do about it. So, but like I'm saying, but when I look at Drake Powell, I feel like Drake Powell, uh, he could have been taken later. He could have been taken in Danny Wolf's spots, and we could have taken Reynald then, and then we could have still had Wolf and Powell. To me, that's how I was
the,
looking at it.
the one thing about this draft that threw me off guard was that Ben Saraf shit. I did not. That shit became way out of left field. I didn't think at
Well,
all, bro. Like
nobody
at
wants to
minimum,
say it in
at
this
minimum, I thought it was
climate.
gonna be. At minimum, I thought it was gonna be Danny Wolf. At least we could have got Kalkbrenner. Like,
But
I mean,
in this climate,
I
nobody
think that is
wants to
what it
say it.
is.
In this climate, nobody wants to say it. But if you were at the Barclays, which by that time we had already moved down closer,
Uh huh. Right.
and then and you saw the cheers, for Sarah. It's like, was this a gimmick pick? Was this like them
That
picking
would
up?
be, yeah.
Was this like them picking up Yi when they already had
When the Bucks,
Chinese
when the
American
Bucks had,
fans from?
right, right, right.
I'm talking
That's
about
what it
from when
seemed like.
we already had Lin, and then we
Right,
added Yi,
right.
and the difference between Yi and what's the other kid that we had after with the
So,
W?
so you saying if we had, if Sean Marks would have peeped out and saw a whole bunch of Black Hood Brooklyn fans, Rasheed Fleming was coming off the board instead of Ben Surratt.
No, I'm not saying that he looked at the crowd at all. I'm saying that it might have been it looked like it could have been like a publicity stunt,
No.
like, hey,
Wait, Bill, can I just check for 1 second? I explained
yeah.
this new theory for like the last few days, and a lot of people are really kind of agreeing with it. This is part of them trying to create an international style. You look at who's the head right now with Jordy, Sean, and Joe, all from different international walks of life. You drafted 4 out of 5 international guys. Drake Powell is American, so we do have American players within this European style. But it seems like part of it is marketing. You want to market to different groups, and we are the melting pot of the world. So I understand a little bit why they did what they did there, but I also think it's. But
But
wait,
see
one
that,
second. Wait, 1 second. It's also part of the old Joe and Sean playbook. They are banking on guys with potential upside, but with a lot of flaws, because they're not want to give any of these guys max money. Their hope is that these guys become rotation pieces or bench pieces. That's why they're hoarding up all these assets to get eventual superstar. It's the Joe and Sean playbook. It hasn't changed. The
but
theme is the only thing that is changing right now. Is we're playing Euro style.
nah. What
That's
blows
what's
that out?
changing.
No, but what blows that out of the water is that Renault is French. So what are you saying?
No,
He's
because that's why they got
international.
Danny Wolf. They got Danny
No,
Wolf
I'm
because of the
saying
offensive
no.
upside.
No, but what I'm saying is, but they play two different positions. They don't play
Right,
the same
right.
positions.
But you
Right.
remember, Joe Marks doesn't like big. So regardless of internationality, Marks has shown us he doesn't want to take big for some reason.
Well,
That's probably his
no,
own personal
But
preference.
what I'm
I
saying
agree
is,
everything with
no, what
that.
I'm saying is this seemed like stunt drafting. Like we have a large Jewish community in Brooklyn. We're gonna take this guy. And they already have
Right.
Wolf, who's Jewish too, but I'm just
Right.
saying, but Wolf I can understand because he could play. The other guy, he might be a stash. He may not even make it over here. So that's what I'm
I
well,
mean,
saying. So
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I listen. We do got a very diverse fan base, bro. Like, if you want to tell me like that, that we was trying to get more Asian dudes, that would probably explain why Yang Henson was probably on our draft board. And then Portland just came through and
no, no, no,
just
he's
left
just
it
really
there.
that good. He's really that good.
No, no,
I'm
he is
saying
really that good, bro. I'm not disputing that, bro. Like, and I think had we would have gotten him at 19, I think a lot of people would have been okay with the rest of our draft board because we get him at 19, Trey Orford is a 22,
we
and then
still
you
would have
get
said
Drake
why
Power Drake.
Sarath. We still would have said why
well, I don't
Sarath.
think they would
I
have
mean, I
taken
mean,
him.
but no,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
they
we
would
would
have
have took
taken him.
Saraf. I don't think we would have took Saraf. I think the draft board would have went if we would have got Yang at 19. We would have got Trayor at 22. We would have got Drake Powell at 26 and Danny Wolf at 27, and that was our draft
Gotcha.
board, and everybody
Okay.
would have been okay.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah,
All
that would
right.
have changed everything. So, John, nah, they interested in the big. It just has to be a certain type of big, like LBL saying. But I didn't understand that if you didn't get Hanson Yang, like LBL saying, the next closest person that has that type of skill is Reynard. And I don't
Right,
understand. I don't understand the passing up on him if
right.
that's the type of style that you're looking for. Now the question is like, do they think
And
Danny is that guy? Which I keep saying he's more of a power forward than John saying like, yeah, he's not strong enough. He doesn't have
I, I,
that
I want to
build
I
for a
want to
center.
interrupt. I want to interrupt. The thing that they was sold on Yang was, bro, was his ability to pass. And I think the same thing about Danny Wolf, his ability to pass and read plays and make simple reads. So if we really, really look at it, Yang to me, bro, like at the 5, might have been the best passer in the first round at the center. He might have been the
That,
best passer the first round at the center, bro. Like
right.
because the way
well,
we read it, the way you
well,
read in the room, and the way that and he fit the international style that we wanted to play, and he was a passer, and then you pile Danny Wolf on top of that, bro. I think we looking for dudes that's gonna be pass first, look
I'm
for the best
laughing.
shot.
I,
You know what I'm saying? And I think we trying to be a team that's gonna be north of 20 to 25 assists a game. Those are
yeah,
points.
but I'm laughing because what's the name also blows that theory. You haven't seen Queen play? Queen could pass.
Yeah, Queen
Yeah,
Queen
I,
can
Queen,
pass.
Queen
I
can
think the biggest thing
Queen
holding
can
Drew
pass.
back was the defensive stuff. I think that's why they didn't want to take
Yeah,
that shot on
Queen
him.
can pass, but he's
Wait, wait,
undersized
wait,
at the
wait,
5
wait.
though.
They didn't want to take Queen because of defense, and then they took guys that all the rest of them have trouble with defense.
No, listen, I understand. Listen. You know what's so crazy?
But they took them
You
late
know,
in
you
the
know what's
draft
so
though.
crazy? My bro, this guy's on Twitter, Cipher. He put up basically Yegor, Ben, and Traor's stats from the college year. Their stats are so similar. These 3 guys that they selected, they are
But see,
very
that's the
similar. So
problem.
that's a
But see,
potential issue right there. Is you
but
can't really
see,
play those 3 guys
I know
together.
I said this
Maybe
to you
2.
either. I know I said this either to you this morning last night on Twitter, and I said, like when I talked about the reports, you like LBL. I'm not just listening to reports, but I said, look, and that's what I'm saying with the stats. You could put up all the stats, but the eye test and just watching them tells you more because stats can be misconstrued and stuff. So it's like I'm not looking at look, they play in different leagues, so you can't say this guy has these stats and this guy has another stat. One guy is playing in college, another guy is playing internationally.
Well,
It's not
No,
the
listen,
same thing.
I understand with choosing 3 guards, they want to find one to be the main guy. I think the thing was enticing about Yegor is if they can convert him to a point and a forward, you can slide Traore next to him, and then you have 2 guys who could create shots for others. And I think Nolan has probably the most potential to create his own shot. because he's a quick guy on the court. He's like somebody said Tyrese Maxey's speed. He could be really that bullet bucket getter we need on this team. And if you could convert a Yegor, you can play those two guys together. And then Danny Wolf, if he could earn a starting role down the line, then you could play maybe those three guys together. I still don't know why they got Saraf. Drake Powell's interesting. I don't know if he was starting the G League this year, but defensively, he fits what we're trying to create. It's just the Saraf thing made no sense. And I think it was intentional to get these guys because I don't think Marks wants to pay these guys any type of big money in the future. They're mostly rotation role
that doesn't
guys to
make sense
eventually get
either,
a
though.
big star here. No, but LBL, it does though. LBL, because think about it. Why get similar players like this if the goal is to not give them max money because you want to get a big star in the future that wants to play with Euro style guys that are all about basketball and less about drama.
I'm gonna go to Jay, but John, any one of these guys could exceed anybody's expectations. You know what I mean? Like any one of them. Traore right now seems to be like everyone thinks that Traore would exceed everyone's expectation as a point guard. Plus, the stats you're talking about, somebody sent me some stats last night and said Traore was the only one on this team, so his numbers could be affected. You know what I'm saying? He had to carry his team by himself. And if you watch his highlights, bro, they had to set like 3 picks for him to score. And he was doing all the scoring, getting to the cup after like 3 picks, bro. Every play was him just setting picks for him to get downhill every single time, bro. And that's all he did was shoot threes and get downhill and make an occasional pass or occasional lob. So his numbers could be all messed up because he had to carry the team, like LBL saying he played in a different league. And if you watch it, you can see like, bro, he had nobody over there. But Jay, I sent you the video. I don't know if you've seen it. Portland taking Hanson Yang earlier because Brooklyn and the Timberwolves is interested in Yang. So they moved back down from their draft pick to pick Hanson. And I was asking the question is, will the Nets regret not taking the big in this draft, even though they took Danny, but they wanted a true center like Hanson Yang that could pass. And they took Danny instead. So will they regret it later? You know what I mean? Jay, you there?
I say we not gonna regret that shit because we're gonna get the center that we want sooner than later, bro. I know we are.
Be a draft or free agency or trade? Because I think it probably be trade. Well, who do you think though would pick for this team? And
you already know. You already know who I'm.
I know who you're talking about. We talked about that in detail, but say not.
Who you talking about? Because I don't know. Who you talking about?
You already know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say this shit no more, bro. I'm sick and tired of saying it.
Oh, the big guy, the big fella.
The grill.
How many times I'm gonna say it? One way or the other, bro. He gonna be here.
Man, I'm surprised this Thomas situation isn't done yet. We're all hearing all these different news stuff coming out, but Thomas, Zaire, and Dayron, that stuff is still like there's been no talk of it whatsoever. Like no reports. Everybody else is getting reported though. Like, what is Sean Marks doing here? You have 14 people on the roster. There's got to be a trade move this week because you have 14 people on the roster, 3 contract situations still up in the air. Either Claxton's going or CJ's going. And can I be honest with you, don't be surprised if Philly's an option for CJ right now. They just picked up Drummond and Kelly Oubre's contracts. They're expiring contracts, and they have valuable Clippers picks. If Philly needs another wingman because the wing depth is bad, do not be surprised if Cam Johnson's name comes up in Philly trade talks.
But you know, but Uber and Drummond, they're not. I think combined, they're not even making like 10 million combined.
No, they're making around like I think 10. I think they're making about
low. They're low. But
we have cap space. We have cap space though, so I don't mind.
I'm just saying, Philly ain't really thinking about like if they are gonna sign them. It's like when you're talking about the investment of Cam Thomas. They need to take their time. They need to take their time and figure this thing out because it's not like Oubre, who's just like a journeyman at this stage, and it's like, oh, okay, we'll re-sign him till we get somebody better or whatever. But
I'm just saying it's an option because they have so many vets that are expiring. They have Eric Gordon's option, they have Oubre's and Drummond. So like those are vets you can easily buy out, or maybe you want them to help these young guys. And I want to get your thoughts on the Malik Beasley thing with the gambling stuff. Apparently the Pistons were thinking about signing a $42 million contract, but now they might have extra cap space to get somebody else. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that the Pistons are looking at other options now?
I don't know.
Beasley and and Junior was out there selling in the playoffs. So they need more help regardless. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of
Yeah,
beating,
yeah.
they still need more help regardless.
And they need shooting. They need shooting.
Do you think they're looking at Cam Thomas because they do have cap space now if they decide not to go after Beasley? Do you think they're
No,
looking at Thomas potentially?
no, I don't think so.
You know why I think they're not looking at Cam Thomas? Because
Why?
I think they want to see what Ivy looks like next to Cade. You
Right.
know, So I think because that got kind of derailed with the injury and stuff. And if Ivy comes back healthy, they're gonna be at least as good as they were last year.
Right. I was just asking because I've been hearing that the Pistons were looking at CJ as a potential option with Tobias Harris expiring salary. I wonder if the Beasley thing means that they're looking at the trade market because the Pistons aren't really changing a whole lot right now.
To
And you have
take
to
this
wonder.
to take this full circle, John, I think you were on like a not even a whole year ago when people were saying that the Pistons were not as good as us. And they were saying that Claxton was better than Duran. Remember that?
I
And
heard
they
rumors
was
Who
about
said
that.
that?
I heard
yo, it
rumors
was
about
on it was either on Hoops one or it's on Big Fan Breezy. And that's when we were like
It couldn't have been here.
it was like when we were like about 8 and 10 or something. And then like because remember Detroit started off slow. And they're like, Detroit, oh man, they haven't made the playoffs in so long. And we're like, no, Detroit got a way better roster
The
than us.
started off slow. A year ago, they lost to almost 30 straight games, bro. Like, I mean, there's not going to be any. Now I know it's a lot of context missing in that statement, but at the same time, there's no way, shape, or form that I said, bro. Like even in the time where they lost that on the 20 something straight games, where anybody on that team, well, any of the young pieces on that team, from Ivy to Cade to Jalen Duran, we didn't have nobody better than them, and
Exactly.
we probably still don't, bro. Like, be
But
honest
but
with
I'm
you, bro.
saying
So
this is when we had that. This is before Cam got hurt. This is before Cam Thomas got hurt when he was averaging 25 and Schroeder was averaging 22, and we started smelling ourselves. Some of us were saying, "Oh, nah, Detroit, we better than Detroit," and I was
Barry
like,
Barry
"Wow."
Dennis is going to a new team. He put a post last night saying Detroit ain't waiting for me. So Dennis is going to team 8 or not pretty soon, potentially.
yeah. So yeah,
He got to. He
Dennis
got to.
Schroeder,
But he
Dennis
got to.
Schroeder,
He
yeah.
gets a lot of, like, what's funny about Dennis Schroeder? Ever since he turned down that extra money, like
From
that
Blake.
money from the Lakers, yeah,
Allegedly, bro.
yeah. Well, let's say that. Ever since then, people have been shitting on him ever since, and all he's done is be a professional and be a leader wherever he's gone. That's
That
all
is a
it's
fact.
and it's like wow, because he was the leader of that Olympic team, that French Olympic team.
That
And,
German, yeah, the German team, yeah.
I mean the German, yeah. So he was the leader of them, and that's what I'm saying. And he came to us. He was a leader for us. Remember when that dude?
That's a
Did y'all
fact.
see that? Did y'all see that video when they was walking through
And
the?
they was trying to say, Ben Simmons, Ben is trash or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I
And
Dennis
he
mean,
kind of
came back.
space.
He came back
He,
before Ben. He came
yeah,
back before Ben did.
he did came back before Ben, but like, I mean, taking up for Ben Simmons is kind of crazy, but I understand. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
you looking out for your teammates, bro. Like, and I
exactly.
think I ain't gonna lie, but nah, Struder definitely did hold it down, bro. Like, and there was a lot of people. The game that Cam Thomas went out with that injury, bro, when we was down 16 to the Warriors, Struder literally put the team on his back and came back in that game. I
Yeah,
know because I have that game on my channel. So I'm
yeah.
like the reality of what we were doing, and obviously I think the reality of these guards is to have somebody with that type of savvy, with that type of awareness as a point guard. You know, have that dribble, pass, and shoot combination, and to be able to make plays for others. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter which way you slice it, Yegor Domin and Danny Wolf are 3 level playmakers in this league. They will be that, bro. They will be able to play make out of the post, out of pick and rolls, on fast breaks, on rebounds and outlets, bro. They will be able to find people. And
Yeah.
I think that's what, and I think like at least from my knowledge, bro. Right now, we got 4 players that could be mainstays on this team. They might be role players, but they're gonna be mainstays on this team if the
Right.
shit works out.
My,
So
my
Yeah.
big
Well,
question is, does Cam Thomas fit the style though? Because people keep saying that he wants to dribble the ball a lot, but now they're trying to make him do it with 0.5 seconds on the clock. So even if you re-sign Thomas for a 3-year deal, is Cam Thomas a part of this, or is he a trade chip to get you that big piece I keep talking about?
He is
Where
though.
what does
I
he
mean,
stand on this?
Hold on,
I mean, I put it to you this way: he'll have to be because the plays that they're gonna run for him, bro. Like if Cam Johnson is not here, then they're gonna probably run the same sets if they want to run that
Right,
offense. If they want to
right.
run that fast out offense, he's gonna become like a lot of Cam Thomas's buckets is gonna be quicker. So you're gonna be seeing less tween step back, tween hezzy step back. You're gonna be seeing less of that and more catch and shoot, catch and pass, catch and go, dribble handoff, cuts and curls, that type of shit. Playing off ball off the screen, bro. If they could get Cam Thomas to commit to that type of scoring, bro, it's gonna be a lot more. But I mean, we got to see what type of wear and tear he could take because ever since he started averaging 31 minutes, the injuries started piling up. So
Right, and the thing was, this draft was about getting more scores around Cam Thomas, but we're still stuck with Cam Thomas, the only scorer. That was another ice. That's another one of my dings with Sean Marks. We were supposed to get like maybe a secondary offensive piece, and you got a few guards who can score the ball here and there, but they can't do it like Cam Thomas can do it. That's a problem.
we do got a secondary offensive piece,
Who?
Danny Wolf.
That's still to be shown. That's still to be shown. We got to see how it transitions in the pros, right?
I ain't say nothing, bro. Yeah, Leaf ain't say nothing. He
No,
was
no,
quiet.
Leaf. I think offensively, I think Wolf does have a ceiling. It's just we got to see how the first year goes. If he can take that mantle, this is all about earning the spots, right? These guys got to earn their minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, I still think Cam is a part of this. Here's why. Jordy said it last year. The less Cam dribbles, the more efficient he gets. So,
Right.
like to Lee's
And
point,
I said the same shit 2 years ago.
yeah, to Lee's point, if he doesn't have to dribble, tween, step back, if he don't got to do that, that means Cam is almost like dead eye to the basket, bro. His shots is like going to be like where it's supposed to be, and he's going to look better than what he does now. You're going to see Cam in a different light because he don't got to work as hard. Lee said it last year. He working too hard for his buckets, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I said it. You know what? I said it after the 340-point games. If y'all go back and go look at those games, bro, him and Ed Sumner was flying up the court, bro. He was getting a lot of those points quickly. He didn't have to ISO a lot of percent of the time, bro. A lot of that shit was the 3 seconds or less type of buckets. Go look at them games.
I'll tell you this: with all these playmakers they surround Cam with, this has to be a career for Cam Thomas to put himself in all-star conversation. Because now you have all these playmakers, like Leaf is saying, to make your shots super, super easy. So I'm hoping Cam Thomas can not only validate the past few years of all the questions everybody has about him and put it all together this year. But this is going to be a tough year. But if Cam Thomas can assert himself and combine all of the things we tell him to work on and really show out, put himself in all-star conversation. That's how you really do change the whole narrative.
that won't happen because we're tanking. So
No, I know, but LBL, he's probably going to be the best thing about this offensively, probably.
All right, hold
no,
up. Let me go to
Go ahead.
Breezy real quick. Breezy, I talked about you know what I'm saying, the center position. Nets was interested in Hanson Yang, and it was said, I sent you the video that Portland took Hanson Yang earlier because they knew other teams were interested, so they traded back for Hanson, and Nets was going to draft him at 19. It was said instead of Nolan Trayor. So do you think the Nets will made a mistake by not drafting a big in this draft?
Yeah, I kind of think they missed by not getting a draft, a big in this draft. The biggest was essential, Chet Hartenstein or Pascal Siakam. You know what I'm saying? The bigs in the finals. They were, but I like Danny Wolf. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna pretend like I don't like Danny Wolf, but I do feel like we could have got Malawat But I like Danny Wolf. You know what I'm saying? I think he could play inside the 3-point line. And to add to y'all conversation about Cam Thomas, he could run the pick and roll with Cam Thomas inside the 3-point line. A lot of the offense we've seen from the Brooklyn Nets last season was above the 3-point line, whether it be screens and, freeing somebody up in the corner for a drive and kick, whatever the case is. It was a lot of offense. I would say 65% of the offense came from behind the 3-point line. And I ain't feel like it was even for real. So I'm saying Danny Wolf, he brings us balance. But to your point, yeah, I think we might miss out on defensive rebounding next season and defense next season. You know what I mean? But I don't think we're gonna have trouble scoring the ball.
Well, we can't Thomas. The other guys, that's still got to be proven. But yeah,
Bro,
Yeah.
Claxton job should be easy as fuck, bro.
super easy it should be. If Claxton can't have a pretty solid season, even if he's on the trade market, like there's no hope of Claxton at that point. You have like 3 to 4 different cards on this team that could play and make now. Like no excuses why Claxton can't have a good season if he's still on this team.
So hold on. So can Danny Wolf be the main guy in the paint and just have Clax roam and like be the help defender?
Well, both
Possibly.
No,
both
I
of them,
mean,
both of them
it's
is help
possible.
defenders.
Danny Wolf ain't a negative defender. I mean, if that's what you're saying, bro. I mean, he got good instincts on defense, bro. Like it, but he ain't all world. Like the thing about
No,
Claxton,
I'm saying his strength.
got
I'm saying Clax. Can Danny Wolf play the Clax strength? Because Clax strength isn't like being a one-on-one defender, like an anchor in the paint.
right.
He benefits from being able to patrol the
Weak
perimeter.
side help. Yeah,
Yeah,
weak side
weak
help.
side help. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Well,
saying. While he weak side help, can Danny Wolf man the paint?
well, that's the thing with them,
Well,
right?
we gonna find out.
That's why I'm asking this question because they're both weak side defenders.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could say that, bro. Like I don't really have a
He's
a
not
gauge
a
on.
he's not a defensive anchor. That was Vlad
Yeah,
Golden who was that, at
yeah.
Michigan.
Golden is the defensive anchor. Yeah,
Some of these
Danny,
weaknesses are overlapping right now. That's the problem with this draft is that it doesn't feel balanced. Like we're gonna have to really build this in those 2 years to make it balanced.
well,
I
the
don't think they
thing,
were looking
one of
for
the,
balance. I think they
well,
were looking for to players that could do that because excel at the same thing, bro. Like Yang is Yang is a damn good passer. If we would have got him at 19, y'all probably would have seen the balance in terms of positioning. But like I think what we was going after is 1/3 of something, bro. We was going after 1/3 of what we want.
you know why we didn't get, you know why we didn't get Yang?
Because
Because he
Portland is
got,
out of line.
no, I'm saying because he got great footwork, and Marks wouldn't have probably taken him anyway. Because I'm saying Marks is like the anti LBL. It's like because remember what I was
No,
saying.
it's
We
anti-common
need
sense.
we need athletes, and I'm
Anti-LBL.
saying once again, this guy's drafted all of these guys, and he only got one pure athlete. Only
Right.
one. And it's like, and this is what I'm saying. When I'm watching games, it's like even like during the Kyrie and KD era, it's hard to watch other people just run. It's like when I'm an old man, like when I take the court sometimes and I got teenagers and they just freaking flying by, woo, and dunking
Right.
all over the place and everything. I'm like, that's different. I'm old. But I'm saying it's hard watching your team getting brutalized like that just because all we have is guys that where Sean Marks, it's like Sean Marks doesn't like guys that are athletic.
I
It's
think the
like,
guy with the
Yeah.
most athletic potential could be Drake Powell. Like he's got a decent wingspan. He can defend 1 through 4. Like I really
Yeah,
hope he gets those minutes.
Drake Powell definitely had the most
no, and
athletic
it's not
potential
not
for
but I'm
sure.
saying, but the point of what I'm saying is uh Drake Powell is not Keon Johnson in that Drake Powell is an
He's better than
athlete, but
Keon
he
Johnson.
also
Yeah,
no,
he
I'm
could be
saying
better than
no,
Keanu.
I'm saying not can be. He is better because he's skilled. Drake Powell he's a skilled basketball player who's also a hell of an athlete. But what I'm saying is Marks always tries to get one or the other, and it's like, and hardly ever the athlete. It's like he just hates guys that could run and jump. It's like, and I'm just like, man, what's wrong with you? Why do you hate these guys? That's why we didn't get Noah Sangue because he's too athletic for Marks.
It would have been a great pick. I think this. I keep saying this. I feel like he purposely chose these guys because financially he knows he doesn't have to give them a lot of money in the future. I know you said these guys
No, but
could
that's
be breakout
what I'm
guys, but
saying
I
is
think it was a financial
Esengwe
commitment to
doesn't
this.
no, but Esengwe doesn't have any more shot of being better sooner than Demon. I'm saying, they at the same level. They both around the
That's a
same
fact.
age. I mean,
If
Esengwe
you
is a
a-
little
if you
younger.
ask me, Danny Wolf could be just as good as soon as they can, bro. Like
So
I ain't
what I'm
gonna lie.
saying is it's not about limiting money. It's not about limited money. That's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying, John, but that's your thing to keep up with that theory of because they're gonna want, that big guy. And what I'm trying to say is if you watching some of these young guys, like you watching AJ DeBonster, and you watching Koa Pete and all of these guys, and Peterson and Cambuza ain't even playing. But if you watching these guys are the dudes, these guys are those guys. They just happen to be, they just happen to be American. So maybe Marks won't
Well,
draft
you
them
know
because
who he's
they're
going to draft
American.
next year, right? Kareem Lopez, the New Zealander guy. He's the international potential prospect that we're looking at. So if they're going to stick with this team, I think Lopez is who they're looking at next year. I don't think they're looking at the top guys, which is a shame. It's a damn shame if we don't get a top 3 next year and Marks chooses somebody else, even if we get top 4 or 5. Like, I just think Marks, like you said, LBO, he has certain types and he's unwilling to deviate from that. He's done it the last 9 years. I think nobody should be surprised that he botched it up the way he did because Marx's mind is if I could create decent role guys that are high character and don't start drama, that'll make an international superstar want to come play with me and I'm justified. That's what it feels like the only reason this makes sense because you should have made the moves for the best talent available, like a Noah Senge, like a Mallywalk, like a Rashir Fleming, like an Asa Noel, but you decided not to, even a Maxime Renard, because you want to be justified in working ass backwards. That's all Marx has done the last 9 years is work from backwards instead of forwards. And until that changes, it's going to be the same damn thing. So, Masai, if you're out there, Bob Myers, if you're out there, please come save this team. Give us something good to talk about instead of talking about the GM.
He can't do that. He can't do that by himself. I'm saying Joe Tsai has to be the one to do that.
Josiah
He
doing
has.
I
nothing.
mean,
Listen, Josiah just signs the checks. That's all Josiah does. He don't do
No, I'm
nothing.
talking about that he has the one.
Listen,
He's the decision maker.
I just want to make one thing clear, bro. Outside of getting Kawhi Leonard, Usai Jerry track record ain't all that great neither, bro. He does have a
Won a
championship.
title with them, man. I don't care if his track record was ass garbage. Won a title with them, man. What has Sean Marks done the last 9 years? His second appearance.
I know we
That's
didn't
it.
go on John. I know we
Kawhi
didn't
Leonard
go
won a
on, but it
title,
was
bro.
damn
Like
near close.
he was just
You know
chilling,
what I
bro.
mean?
Like
Like,
let's let one thing be
Wait,
known.
what ice?
Usai Jerry, I want to give you a quick history lesson on Usai Jerry, bro. Usai Jerry, when they first made the playoffs back in 2014, and guess who you know who they was playing in the first round? The Brooklyn Nets. And he was outside in Jurassic Park screaming on the loud horn in front of the fans. He said, I just got one thing to say, fuck Brooklyn.
That's what
And
he's
then
supposed to say.
Paul Pierce took their lunch, not once but twice. The very next year, Paul Pierce went to the Wizards, bro, and he said, bro, like that team don't have it. And then he went right back, and then Usai Jerry went right back on the loudspeaker and said, bro, we ain't worried about Paul Pierce, man. We don't care about none of that shit. They got swept by the Washington Wizards with an old Paul Pierce. I'm like, yo, Usai Jerry, yes, he's won a title, and he's part of a long list of one-hit wonders in this league. But
So-
I'm not looking for no savior, bro. I'm not.
So Leaf, the rationale is if Kawhi Leonard doesn't make that crazy bucket over Embiid and Kevin Durant does get injured, it wouldn't matter what Masai did with the Raptors. That just would have been nothing.
You know, listen, everything that you just said is noteworthy, bro. All I know is Kawhi Leonard would have won a damn championship anyway because he was that
Right, but also the thing is he didn't stay. So maybe if he stayed, maybe they would have done better.
Yeah, he didn't stay for a reason, bro. Like, I mean, obviously he
Because it's Toronto. Because it's Toronto. I don't think it was Majiri. I think it was, when you got to go to Toronto, Canada, you got to pay way more taxes.
Okay, we forgetting what's going on right here. We
Yo,
forgetting what's
easy.
going
What's the
on.
word, Ease?
What's the word, yo? We forget what's going on, yo. What's the word, Ice? I think we forgetting history right now. We're disrespecting
Nah,
history.
I just wanted to give a quick history lesson on Usada Jerry because being that
But
I
you
just
said
watched
like,
the
yo,
full.
you can't keep Masai couldn't keep Kawhi. I'm like, we all knew Kawhi wanted to go to LA. Like he even said
Yeah, he
that when he
wanted to
was on the
go home.
Spurs.
Yeah.
He said that he was on the Spurs, so that was like 2 years ago. So like, I don't
I
even know
mean,
like what we doing with this one.
Usada Jerry couldn't keep a lot of people. He couldn't keep Siakam.
Leaf
He
is
couldn't
mad
keep
because he said
Kawhi.
He
F
traded
Brooklyn.
He couldn't keep.
Siakam, bro. What we doing right now, bro?
Like I mean,
Now you hurting my head now, bro. Now it sound like hate.
but no, that's not hate, bro. All I'm saying is Usada Jerry ain't as great as everybody make him out to be. That's all I'm saying.
He's better than
He's
Sean Marks, Leaf. He is better
that's
than
true.
Sean Marks. Everybody in this room will agree with that. He is better than Sean
Hey,
Marks.
listen, so is Bob Myers. But where's he's at, bro? Like I heard his name connected with us the last year, bro. Now he's at
But you
ESPN.
know what? You know what's the funny thing with Bob Myers? Bob Myers is getting by. It wasn't Bob Myers. It was Jerry West.
Absolutely.
Don't
You're
get it
absolutely right. It
twisted.
wasn't.
You know, so it wasn't
You
him.
see,
He got all
this
this.
is the problem that I have,
Bob
bro.
Myers drafted Weissman.
You see, this is
Yes,
the
he did.
problem that I have, bro. You see, like we keep on trying to give all the credit to one person when we keep on going back to the main operative word, and it's organization, my nigga. It's more than one person, my nigga.
So organizations win championships. That's what you want.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? You think it's one? Alright,
Yeah.
bro. We can't be doing this, bro. We cannot be doing this,
So
bro.
we can
I
do
mean,
We can't do it,
listen.
bro.
I know.
We can't do it, bro.
I heard that
Easy.
phrase.
That's
I heard
beyond
that
casual.
phrase
That was
before.
beyond
Easy.
casual. That was a
No.
beyond casual
Easy,
thing. That was a
easy,
beyond
bro. Hold
casual
up.
thing. That was a
Easy,
beyond casual thing. Hold on.
Easy.
No.
I'm
So
asking
you
the
said that
question, bro,
casual shit,
because
bro. You gotta let it rock, bro.
no,
You said it out
it
your
wasn't
mouth, my nigga.
casual.
I
It
didn't
wasn't
say it,
casual.
bro.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
That
No,
was
it wasn't.
OD casual,
No,
bro.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You know why it
An
wasn't, bro?
organization don't win a championship, my nigga.
No.
So when
I'm
LeBron
asking
winning,
you.
it's not
It
the
was a
Cleveland
question.
Cavaliers winning, it's LeBron winning, right? That's what's
It
going on. When
was
Steph
all
Curry
right.
winning, it's
Hold
not
up.
Golden State winning. It's Steph Curry winning, right? When Giannis winning, it's not the Milwaukee Bucks winning.
You misinterpreting the question, bro. Because the reason why I said that is because it's been said to a great player.
Man.
It's been said to a great player before, bro. Like, bro, I'm
What
pretty
does it
sure.
mean if you're a great player? You need to get the pieces around you. Things
No.
need to fall into
I
place.
know.
You can have one contract.
Hold up, wait. I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere with this, bro. Rod Thorne said that shit to Michael Jordan back in the '90s, bro. Like, and I'm pretty sure Jerry, bro, they thought they could win a championship, but they couldn't do it without Michael Jordan, bro. Like, I'm positive that they couldn't. They tried, but they couldn't. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like,
bro, but that's a part of an organization. Players, coaches, front office executives, team officials, the training staff, chefs. It's not just one thing, bro. All because bro, sometimes you might get it fucked up and you might forget a part in it, but they still play a part within this, bro. All because you forgot it doesn't mean they forgotten out of history, bro. Or organizations more than what you have in your mind, bro. So if all because you have front office and the players in mind doesn't mean the trading nigga that been massaging that nigga fucking knee for a year doesn't play a part into this, my nigga. It's a organization, my nigga. You
But
hear
the
the players
only
talking
thing-
about the whole time, my nigga. They
But
say,
easy.
yo,
But
wait,
easy.
hold on.
Easy.
Real
If you want to
quick,
say,
you-
organizations
bro,
win championships, bro, I say
hold on,
in the
bro.
last 7 years it's been luck, bro. Like, if you really
No,
want to keep
hold
it
on, bro.
bro.
You hear players talk about all the time. You even hear Gilbert Arenas talking about it, bro. Niggas said we went to other different teams. They had chefs right there. They had food. Nigga, he said he in the team. There ain't no food there, nigga. Desmond Bain got traded from the Grizzlies. Niggas looking happy as ever. Niggas like, yo, they kept us in a dungeon. We didn't even see the light. I could walk outside, bro. Everything plays a part into it, bro. You can't just look at player front office. There's a lot more going on, bro.
But what we can say is for our organization, the one constant through all these different coaches and everything is Sean Marks. Right?
Exactly.
He just doesn't have a good businessman mindset. He's a good guy, but listen, business is not about being a good guy. You got to be able to be ruthless, assertive, and unemotional. And Marks has always been led by emotion, and players leading him down the wrong path.
Let me say this. I'll say this, though. I'll say this to acquiesce to your point. I think Sean Marks is a part of an old guard that if he's giving up something that he deems valuable, he needs to be compensated 0.15 for it. If he has to
I
break
would
off
agree
for
with that.
0.95, 0.85, he's gonna have a problem with the deal. He needs a ROI. He can't wait, and then that ROI needs to be immediate, or it needs to show that it's immediate. It can't
Easy.
be something that develops.
What did Sean Marks learn from the Spurs? Wait, Easy, here's a serious question. What did Sean Marks ever learn from the Spurs? He was there for a while as a player, didn't do much, and he was an assistant coach. What did he ever learn from the Greg Popovich tree? Because his decisions literally contradict a lot of the things that made the Spurs such a dynasty of a team.
Well, let me say this, John. Let me say this. One of the things that you have to admit, he did do his best to find adequate pieces with limited contracts.
He was an intern.
Remember when we had KD, Kyrie, and Harden? At that time, our books was cooked. We could barely get people on, but the moves that he made were substantial enough to get us to a championship. So not many GMs have that in their pocket to do that too. So he can he could work with the crumbs. Now, I'll acquiesce to your point again. Now we got a big cookie on the table, and it looked like he fumbled a cookie. He dropped it on the floor, and it broke into pieces. That's what it's looking like from a lot of people. Like I'm gonna go to your point from a lot of people, because let's just all keep it a beam. Drafting 4 fucking point guards is crazy, bro. Especially when you have 2 on the team already. So like off rip, like I have to acquiesce to that point, right? So things like that make you, especially when there's other pieces on the board that you could have got.
Only 3, bro, but I get what y'all saying.
Because like at the end of the day, if like I acquiesce to your point, not getting Maxime Renard or Rasheed Fleming is a bad look. You could have used that for Ben Surratt. You could have used that, even though they were dropped into second round. You could have used that. I'll acquiesce to that point, but unfortunately, we are a rebuilding team. So we have to wait for these pieces to develop to really fucking go fire brimstone on this nigga. So that's why I don't give pushback when y'all be fired on Sean Marks, but
And I would say this too. We got to put Jordy into this too, because Jordy, he's had a huge say since he's come to his team. I'll be honest. I'd expect a rookie coach, now a second-year coach, to have all this autonomy. If he really had a lot to say in the decision makings, we're getting 3 guards, getting an unproven potential combo big in Danny Wolf, and getting Drake Powell. He's really putting his reputation on the line these next 2 years, because he's saying I could turn raw prospects, literally raw prospects, especially with the unbalanced things these guys have, into solid rotational pieces. So if this doesn't work, what happens to Jordy, Easy? Because some of these decisions were questionable, and if he had a big say in that, his reputation's on the line just as much as Sean Marks is at this point.
I tell you what's going to happen. So he probably going to be the first one out the door, because what the relationship that Sean Marks has with Joe Tsai, Jordy don't have with nobody else in the organization.
True
that.
He don't have. He don't.
But Jordy his reputation is making players better. His whole coaching thing that he has is making when he's done with the player, they are better, and it's like damn near guaranteed that they will be better, because that's what his reputation is. You know,
I know, but do you want better or do you want great?
I'm not saying everybody is going to get better, but his reputation is that he can make players better, bro. At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Ice, here's my thing, right? And you're not wrong with that assessment. You're not wrong with that. I completely 1,000% agree with that. But here's my thing, right? And I keep on going back to this point. What are we in it for? Rhetorical question. We in it to win a championship. And like I keep on saying, you don't know what you have until you get to the dance, bro. Right. Everybody be thinking they have a good team and shit. And then when they get to the dance, and then you have a better coach on the other side, and they key in on your weaknesses, then your other coach can't adjust in real time, and they can't adjust game to game. Then you can see when fire hits the road, when rubber meets the road, what happens, bro. And like I said, bro, you don't know what you have, bro. So we could get to the dance, and this nigga fall flat on his face. Once that happens, he's out the door. There's a ceiling right there, bro. That's a ceiling, bro. You hit the ceiling once that happens, bro. You out the door, bro.
But what about the fact that Jordy Fernandez seeing Jokic become a great player in front and had a front row seat to it? What about him seeing Sabonis run the offense through him, seeing the 1-2 punch between
Unless
Fox
you're
and
telling me
Sabonis.
Danny Wolf about to develop Danny Wolf or one of these guys into a complimentary player like that could play make on that type of high level. Igor, one of these players, then it don't matter. That was their
Yes, they
team. So what
do,
about
bro.
going on right here?
That's what I'm leading to. I'm saying that I'm not calling Danny Wolf Jokic. I'm not calling Danny Wolf Sabonis. I'm calling Danny Wolf a player that can play inside the 3-point line and can facilitate the offense because he's going, to my knowledge, give us 3-4 assists. In that first season, I'd give him 3 assists. I think he'd give us 3 assists a game. If we could get Danny Wolf to start his rookie season giving us 3 assists a game and getting shy of double doubles because of points and rebounds, Jordy Fernandez did his job. If Jordy Fernandez could get Demon to give us 5-6 assists his first season, he did his job. As a 2 guard, if he could get Nolan Troyore to be a 2 and a 1, a combo guard, and he coming off the bench, because I think he should come off the bench. If he could get 4 or 5 assists out of Nolan Troyore, he did his job. You feel what I'm saying?
Why
Whoa, okay,
why those random numbers? 3
yeah,
assists, 5
these
into
assists,
next
numbers
6
season
is
as
kind
a
of
assists.
crazy right
hold
here.
No,
I'm
I'm
not gonna
saying
lie.
that doesn't mean
on,
anything. That doesn't
hold on,
mean
hold on, hold
anything.
on, hold on, hold on,
You
hold
gotta
on.
add these
Before
numbers up,
hold on,
bro. These numbers is
hold
crazy right here, my
on, hold
nigga.
on, hold on,
What
hold
the turnovers look like?
on,
These
hold
numbers
on.
is crazy. You have us being a top 5 offense, my nigga.
Bro, hold on. What I'm saying is all of these players specifically are playmakers. They went out and got the best facilitators, whether they be in the Euro League or college. These are probably some of the better facilitators in the Euro Leagues, with a Saraf, with a Nolan Traore, and a Diego Dement, right? So that's why they went after them. We all know that Jordy Fernandez coaching a national team. So we all know that he knows about national basketball, international basketball, not just national basketball with the NBA. Now I'm saying that to say, yes, I do think there's an upside to Danny Wolf. I do think that Juwan Howard will help a Danny Wolf. The fact that Jordy Fernandez seen Sabonis and Jokic, I think that, you know what I'm saying? It helps Danny Wolf. I really do. I think there's as much as y'all could point out the negatives, there are also positives to say that this is the reason why Danny Wolf. I'm not saying all 5 of these guys are going to be just rookie of the year type shit, but I do think that you're going to see great player development in that first season. I'm optimistic. Of course I am, but I'm telling you why at least.
You're
At worst, I
supremely
could see Danny
optimistic.
Wolf maybe be a Sengun. I don't see Joker. You know, I was on BK Hoop Show last night. You know what he said? He said that anybody can be a Joker in this league. And I'm like, what? You serious?
Hold
Whoa.
He
on,
said that to me last night. Anybody
hold
could be
on,
a Joker. So is Danny Wolf's going to be Joker?
hold on.
That's a little.
We don't repeat nothing that's on BKNY Hoop Show about nobody, bro.
Exactly.
That don't translate over
Ever,
here, bro.
ever.
That don't
Oh,
Ever.
translate to real basketball, bro. No, but to the point, right? I was saying, Easy. I was asking the question earlier, Easy, if the Nets are going to regret not taking a center because they wanted Hanson Yang. Portland took him earlier off the board, and everybody was wondering why Portland took him so early. Is because other teams thought he was that good and was going to take him early. We were supposed to take him at 19. That was the word. If Timberwolves didn't take him, we were going to take him at 19 instead of Traore. You know what I'm saying? And they end up drafting Danny and still not taking like Reynard or Kalkbrenner, the true centers. You know what I'm saying? So my question was, will they regret, even though they was looking at one, they didn't draft a true center. You know what I'm saying? So will they
that's
regret
wild.
it?
That's kind of
And
tough
don't
because
forget with Denver, they already got at least 3 centers, right? They got Klingon, they got Aiton, they got Robo,
They got
right?
I
you
So
mean
mean, but
Portland. You mean Portland.
Aiton and Robert Williams is probably up out of there, along with
yeah.
Jeremy Grant.
They got 2 young centers. They got 2 young centers in Portland.
So they're gonna have two. So they're gonna have 2 young centers for sure. But I think what they centers bring is different shit, because what you got with Klingon is somebody that know how to man the paint on his own and do the dirty work that centers you normally do, and he could do a little bit of everything else. What you got with Yang is you got offensively, bro, like somebody that could do a lot of everything, bro. Like, I mean, I said it, bro. At the 5 position, bro, at the center position, he's probably the best. Outside of Queen, he might be the best passer in the first round of this draft. I mean,
Right.
and that's probably the reason why everybody is hitting that we had him at 19 on our board, bro. That might have been Sean Marks get out of jail free card, bro. If he would have picked him.
So what
But
you
to tell,
hold on. Go back to Easy. Easy, what you think about the situation, Easy?
I mean, so for one, I'm kind of confused with Portland, and I've been tapping into Portland FC too. So like, they kind of confused with that move. They're 50-50. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, real quick, Ice, real quick. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, this little generational draft, I'm telling you, almost every team that you could point to, that you could raise like a little question mark on, their FC is split 50-50 or 75-25 or 8 or 60-40. Like, some of these moves, they are going crazy over. So right back to the point, yo, I'm trying to figure out why Portland really drafted him when they have 3 centers on their team and they still haven't got rid of Robert Williams. So at that point, you either doing the Masai Ujiri, you really want high level quality back for this talent, or you on the I don't know another GM, but like, you just can't get rid of this player. So like, you on this shit. So I don't even know why you drafted him. Back to us. Now I gotta ask a counter question. Ice, I gotta ask a counter question. If we was to get him Yang on the team, how much better would the team be with a guy like that on the team? Now let's just put all the other draft picks to the side. We just focus on this guy right here. If we was to get him on the team, what would he bring to his team to elevate us?
He'd bring a lot more offense that we didn't have initially at the 5. Somebody that could man the paint. Somebody that could definitely block shots. Somebody that could stretch the floor because he could shoot. Offensively, bro, like I strongly believe, bro, at the center position, we got a different dynamic that we probably haven't had since probably Brook Lopez in terms of just offense. And I mean, scoring and passing. We got somebody that could play in sets, play in the X's and O's, bro. Like play at the top of the key. Great screener and everything, bro. Like, but the crazy thing about it, he's only 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. And we would have had somebody youthful. The fact that he went that high is because he was 18, 19 years old. And to nobody that know, he was sitting with probably 2 or 3 seats next to Breeze at the draft anyway. So like, nobody don't even know. I mean, listen, it's you get a young talent, somebody that you could build with in the future, and you already paid him. You already got Diego at 8, and then you get him at 19. The rest of your draft board, the sky's the limit.
So I'll say this then. I don't know if we're gonna
hold on. Easy. Everything that they wanted Claxton to do, or even Sharp, that dude can do it. Like, no, there's no. You know what I'm saying? Can I get him? Can I try to get him to do? It wasn't none of that with Yang. You know what I'm saying? You can have him do exactly that. The elbow passes, pull up, jump, the 3. You know what I'm saying? You can sit him in the corner. He's gonna block shots, and like Leap said, he ain't a real rim protector, but he gonna block shots. So my thing is, what you wanted Claxton and Sharp to do, that dude could have did it. You know what I'm saying? Easy. That's light work for him. And he displayed it in the combine. Go ahead.
So I'll say this for everything you told me. So bringing back into the draft picks that we had, I know because you said we had him on our big board at 19, so we wouldn't have drafted Nolan Traore. So with everything that we did do, just switching that pick, I think we did miss out on him. For a dynamic like that. I would have, if y'all didn't tell me all the things he did, I would have been like, okay. I would have leaned more towards. I think we should have went more for a better wing, at least a versatile wing. But if he brought those dynamics to the team, and then with our team, right? So because you gotta remember the people that we drafted and the outlook of our team, we're gonna be moving the rock, my nigga. Like this, it can't be just sitting in somebody's hands. That shit got to be popping. It's gonna be popping.
Easy. Our front court is just so nasty right now, man. That's like the biggest problem.
All I could say is, bro, like with us not picking a legitimate wing or legitimate big in this draft, maybe the center and maybe the big and a legitimate wing that we looking for is already in the league.
That's what I was gonna go to. That's what I was thinking about. Like, we could have just found a big in the league, a decent big in the league, and just put them right in our situation, and they could have just formed in. But if you look at the young teams that we got, that we have in the league, it's really the guard big man combo that's really excelling right
That's
now.
what.
So
That's why I think. That's why I think it is easy. Sean Marks wants combo bigs as opposed to just a big that plays the position. He wants a big to play the 4 and the 5 depending on matchups. That's why with Dayron, Claxton, Clowney, and even Drew Timme, we've had this conversation about these guys playing different positions. But it's like, why not just get a center that plays the one freaking position that does it well? Like that's the problem with the organization.
but John,
They never
all right,
want to
so
play
No,
easy.
wait,
he
real quick,
thinks that's the way
let me play devil
basketball
advocate.
goes.
Let me play devil advocate real quick. So John, you have a point, right? But if we looking at the league right now, how the league been going, you need guys at positions that could do multiple things at multiple positions. You can't. It's almost like football in a sense. I can't let the defense read my plays because they're getting a read on it and they could key in on it. So I need to be able to have players that could immediately change my role. So if you're a hammer, for some reason, one game, I might need you to be a screwdriver, my nigga. Unfortunately, I need you to be a screwdriver. But if you're always a hammer, you fuck me up a little bit. So like I have to rotate some things. In this league right now, I need a player that could do multiple things. You need to bring at least 2 to 3 things on the court. So if you're a big man, you need to rebound, but at the same time, you need to hit a closeout. You need to run to a
I totally
closeout.
agree with you, Ease. I think that's why they got Jaeger, because they're hoping to convert him to a combo because you can play Traore with him. I understand why that move was made, even though it wasn't supposed to happen at that spot. And with Danny Wolf, could he be a combo big potential? But I think Mark's problem is you always try to get these combo guys, but their skill set is not what you hope it can be at a certain level. That's the problem. Like we talk about all these guys that could have fit well, that could have been versatile and combo type players, but Marks didn't want them. Like
Okay,
that's the problem,
Well, for
unfortunately.
with that
me,
statement right there, who does that apply to in this draft? With that statement right there, who does that apply to in this draft that we drafted?
what
That
statement?
That he
What's
said
that?
that he's looking for combo guards, but in the draft and stuff. With the players that we drafted, with that statement, who does that apply to? Ben Saraf, Danny Wolf.
Jaeger Demon, because they want to convert him to a forward because they want to play Traore eventually with him, and Jaeger is not strong as
But he's
physically
not
right
a.
now.
But
I
he's
don't.
not
I
a.
mean,
He's not a combo guard,
I
though.
highly doubt that, bro. Like,
He's not a combo guard.
I think Jaeger, right now with the frame that he's in, bro, like he's going to have
He's
to
a
play
point
guard.
forward.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play. He's gonna have to play guard, but you got to build your lineup a certain way to hide his weaknesses.
Does he
You know what
have
I'm
to
saying?
play
So,
guard? Does he have to play guard?
No,
I
he
think
I
doesn't.
mean, well, he got to play guard right now because he don't have the right conditioning and the right physical abilities to play
Uh,
the wing.
I think we'd be making like I'm saying we haven't seen them on the court together, but to me, I think they're gonna play Traore at the 1, and then they'll play Demon at the 3, and they'll just have more passing, and they'll have Cam at the 2. That's what I think. It's just gonna have more passing.
That's a fact. I mean, I'm all right with that, but I feel
Because
like
remember, it's the versatility of if they try and ball denial with Traore, then Demon will bring it
right.
up. If they trying it with Demon,
I
then
strongly
Danny
believe.
Wolf will bring it up. So
You know what, and shout out to Iceman for this conversation because I strongly believe after what I've seen from Yang, bro, how we would have got him, bro. Like I think we would have had our lineup for at least the next at least one
see,
third of our lineup for the next
There was like
breaking
over.
news,
years.
Wait, what
breaking
breaking news?
news.
What breaking news?
Sexton is being traded. I told you,
To
Leaf.
where?
I
To
told
where?
you.
Tell
I
us
don't
where.
know. I gotta look.
Charlotte,
It's
Charlotte.
Shams.
Charlotte?
I told you they
Whoa.
wasn't gonna keep all them point guards over there.
Who got traded?
Colin
Sexton
Sexton.
Sexton.
to the
Okay.
Hornets? That's
They never
confusing.
they never liked Sexton.
You already have LaMelo and Con Knipple. Now you want to get Sexton. They're loading up on guards now.
I mean, well, I like they loading up on guards because LaMelo is made out of glass, bro. So
Sexton's
you need
deal
some guys
probably is
in.
coming up. They probably don't want to
Yeah.
pay
So,
him.
so you probably he is coming up, but the thing is that I think Colin Sexton is probably an insurance policy right now, bro. Like at least for the year.
He got
You know
traded
what
for
I'm saying?
Nurkic.
So
He
Whoa,
got
he
wait,
did get
Sexton
traded
for
for oh
Nurkic?
wow.
We
Yeah.
could have done that. We could have done Claxton for Nurkic, man. Sean Marks is such a jerk, man. I'm sorry, he really is. Like, he's missing out on all these easy goals.
Claxton for Nurkic, bro, in a
How are you saying
2031.
that?
We could have got
No,
some
but I'm saying
picks maybe with that.
no. You're not reading it right, John. If they traded, they wanted a guard. They didn't want a center.
Right. If
Right.
that's the way you're putting it, I understand that. But like, that could
The
have been a deal where
Hornets,
we could have got it
they
Claxton's
got
contract.
a center. They got the Hornets got Kalkbrenner, bro. Like as far as I remember.
Yo, what type of trade is this, bro? This is what I
did
be
get caught
talking
running
about,
the draft.
bro. This is what I
I
be
ain't gonna lie,
talking
this is
about.
some bullshit, bro. Like they
This
got
some
away with this.
bullshit, dog. Why?
Yo,
Out of
what
all
the
the teams, nigga, what?
Danny ain't signed off on this.
I mean, he
That's
got
odd.
off for Sexton. He been trying to get off for Sexton, so I mean, it works out for him. And then
Now he got to
he
get
went
rid
to-
of. He got to get rid of John Collins.
no. He
Right.
gonna try to get rid of
Nah,
Walker
John
Kessler
Collins
now.
John Collins picked up the option, bro. Like, I mean,
He gonna try to move
you
off
gotta
of Walker Kessler.
you got him
because
on
he
an
just got a big
expiring
man back,
deal,
so-
bro.
so
You got
he
him on an
could work with
expiring
it.
deal. Said Pelicans rook Jeremiah Fears rocking the number 0 is legendary. Zero
Man.
Fears.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, bro.
Nah,
Even
we
with
can't
that
talk about
Cleveland
Jeremiah
trade, bro.
on here no more. He gets no more love. He
Yo,
gets no more
easy.
love about that.
Easy. What'd you think about the
Yeah,
Lonzo
Joe,
Ball
I
move
ain't
to the
gonna lie.
Cavs
You absolutely
yesterday?
right about
I
that.
don't understand these moves, bro. I'm saying, like, I don't like these guys that's getting traded. They could have went to better teams and helped teams in a better way. Like, I don't understand Lonzo going to Cavs or Sexton going to the fucking Hornets. Like,
Are they
what is
going to
going
move
on?
Baldwin? Are the
understand it.
Cavs
I
going to move
understand it.
Baldwin?
You don't
That's my
understand.
question.
You
I
don't
don't.
understand. You don't understand Sexton going there.
No.
Knupple's a rookie. You need a vet in
You
case
had Brandon Miller. You
Knuckles.
threw him into the fire, and
But
Yeah,
Brandon
nah,
Miller's really a three.
but Melo always hurt, so they don't have another point guard like that though. They got a young point guard, but they don't got a point guard like Sexton though.
You just drafted Trey.
Eh.
You just
Yeah, some-
drafted
Who they
Trey.
drafted?
They
Yep.
just drafted Trey, right? They drafted Trey.
No, they got.
Hold
Oh,
up.
matter of fact, it was.
They got Liam McNeil. You talking about the Hornets?
I'm tripping.
Yeah, they
Hold
don't.
up,
Yeah,
hold up. Yo, James Harden is opting out?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
they
opted out.
They
Yeah.
trying
said
to
there's a
renegotiate. Trying
rumor
to
he wants to
negotiate.
go. There's a rumor he wants to go back to Houston.
What?
I
No.
mean, that been on the table.
All
Come
right.
on.
I read that
All
yesterday.
right.
That been on the table.
Katie and James 2.0? Oh, shit. That'd be crazy.
both players are on an expiring contract. That's what it is. Colin Sexton and Nurkic on expiring contracts.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, people
That's
can say what they
what-
want about the beard, but in the regular season, he put up great numbers.
I mean, yeah, in the regular season, bro, yeah, he did all right. I mean, for as much as he had the ball in
It
his
wasn't
hands,
all
bro, I
right.
mean,
It was like almost 20 and 9 or something like that.
20 and 10. He was a 20 and 10 guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
20 time. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, bro. I mean,
and with them
but
young guys, and he don't have to play defense because they'll play defense.
You know
I
what?
mean, well, if you got him, Katie, and Sengun on the court, that's 3 defensive liabilities right there, bro. Like at this
But you
point,
Why
also
is
got
KD a defensive liability? Oh, hold on, bro. What's the opposite to dogs? Dogs.
because he's
at the
37.
age of 37, bro. Like I would listen if I see if
So we doing
I'm
narrative. We doing narrative then.
I don't think it's narrative, bro. Like if I'm a go-to scorer and I see KD on an island and they not sending the help, nigga, that's food.
So
Like, bro, did
KD's
you not
on an island
see
and they's not
Ant-Man?
sending help, and he holds
Yo,
up. He's food.
yo,
That's
have you
food to me.
seen KD ain't played defense since he left Brooklyn.
Okay, we saying anything now. We saying anything now.
Are we?
Yes,
Are
we
we?
are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we
What
are. We not watching
okay.
the tape, bro. We not watching the
Well,
tape.
so
bro.
okay, all
And
right.
y'all know
So
I fuck
take
with y'all,
so
but we
all
not
right.
watching
So
the tape.
hold on. All right. So let's make it clear for me, bro. Tape man, bro. What
Me too.
defensively?
KD,
What does this nigga defensively? What does this nigga look like in Phoenix?
when he was on Phoenix throughout those years, no matter what you say, my nigga, he was one of the least people that you could take advantage on the defensive end. If anything, he was helping out people like Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Tyus Jones, and sometimes Royce O'Neal and Yusuf Nurkic on the defensive end. We could play this narrative game we want to, but the tape is there, my nigga. The tape is there.
I put it to you this way, bro. If everything that you saying is true, bro. If everything that you really saying is true, bro, and Kevin Durant was all of those things, it sounds like you saying Kevin Durant was the best defender on that roster.
You see, then we go to
That's
the extreme. Now we go to the
It
extreme.
does
Now we have
sound
to
like
go to the
that.
extreme. We can't be
No, but it
realistic,
does
bro.
sound
It's
like
either
that.
calm
You
or
named three
extreme.
reasons.
It sound like you saying it sound like you
Durant
saying he
is the
the
right
best
center
defender
for the right
in
Hold
that
up, though.
starting five, bro.
Hold
That's
up,
what it sound like to me.
y'all, because you are taking it. You know what Kevin does. He's a weak side help defender, and he will always do that at his height, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even in
Yeah.
playoffs, it doesn't matter what team he's on. He's going to do the same exact thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The dude getting older, but he's a weak side help defender. You know what I'm saying? That's what he is, bro. That doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to be the best defender in the world. He ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying? He ain't going to be the least best defender on the team. He's going to do what he's going to do at his height, bro, at the end of the day.
Listen,
It sounded like he said,
it
it sounded like he
it sounded like
described
he said,
an
bro,
elite defender
Like Kevin Durant was the best
who's
defender in that
making up
starting
for.
five, bro. Like
That's what it
that's what it
sounded like
sounds
to
like.
me too. He's making up for Booker. He's making up for Beal. That's what it sounded like to me too. And like I didn't see
That's what
that.
it sounds like, bro. I mean, yeah. So I'm
No,
wondering
how
where
was
that
that team
was.
constructed, though? It wasn't a good constructed team, right? That's the same thing y'all say about Claxton now. You know what I'm saying? How do you look when the roster not put together right? How does he look?
Without
You know what I'm saying?
superstars, he looks pretty average without superstars.
But Claxton would help. What does Claxton look like? Damn near all defensive player, right? The team makes all of the difference.
Right.
It
I
But
certainly
mean,
does.
having the
I
talent
mean,
does too.
if you want to say that, that's fine to me, bro. I mean, I'm not denying that, but listen, in the case of Kevin Durant
You
on the
went to the
Phoenix
right team.
Suns, I mean, yeah, and in the case of him on Houston, bro, he definitely went to the right team. But the conversation
Exactly.
that we was having is if James Harden gets there, now you got two dudes that now you got another dude that's gonna just be in the way and have the ball in his hands just to have the ball in his hands.
I
You know
don't
You
I
know
what?
what
don't
I'm saying?
You know why
I
it
don't
won't
think
happen,
so.
Lee? Because Ime Udoka didn't want it to happen. When there were rumors about what you're talking about, I heard that he was one of the people that said, "No, we're good. I want young guys. I want a young core. Eventually get a superstar, somebody that fits what we're trying to build." I think Harden's past in
Nah.
Houston is something he don't
You
want to go
can't
back to.
but you can't say we want young guys and then he still has Fred Van Vliet because he's not that
Because
much
Fred
younger than
VanVleet
Harden.
is a good veteran, though. You got to admit this,
Saying
though. He's
he's not that
not
much
like
younger
Harden.
than
Fred
Harden.
VanVleet,
I mean,
Fred
bro,
VanVleet's a lot more professional, I would say, than James Harden. As soon
Oh,
as James Harden does a
Fred,
light
now
Fred
you're
something,
Van
he'll
getting into
Fred
sway
Van
out.
Vliet.
personalities. Now you're getting into personalities. You're not even talking about the
That's huge.
basketball.
That's huge. Because listen, James Harden's skill set is amazing, but his personality is the reason why he's never won a ring in his life. Because he always wants to get out of situations when he's not happy. All he had to do was stay in Brooklyn, and we could have won. But he wanted a fake injury. Stop it. Out of here, man.
Now
Go
you're
to
getting
Broadway.
into
James Harden, if you want to
personality,
leave a
man.
team so bad, go to Broadway, bro. This is the NBA. And stop.
Well, I don't know. I just said that's the rumor that he was looking, that he was looking to go back to Houston. He probably just loved this strip club so much or something. He wants to go back. Who knows?
Listen, bro, I don't trust James Harden at all. One of the reasons why he ended up on the Clippers is because the Clippers was one of those teams that was itchy enough, brother, to give him that money, and then they gave him an extension. Now he opting out of it. So I mean, look, I don't
That
know,
is
bro. Like,
nasty. That is nasty work. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself.
I'm telling you, I think
yeah, I mean,
Steve Ballmer's got to rebuild some, man. That core is over. It's nothing to really build there anymore. James and Kawhi
it
can't do
really
it.
ain't. It really
They
ain't.
got
I mean, like,
they got it.
And
I mean,
even
like,
what's the French dude? He also opted out.
Nick Batum,
Batum,
yeah. He might
So
resign though on a cheap 1-year final deal before he retires. That's what I keep hearing.
no, not
That he might
he's
do
not
that
gonna.
thing.
No, he's not gonna resign on a cheaper 1 year. You mean on a cheaper multi-year?
For how many? He says he wants to retire soon. I would give him the 1 year and that's it.
I'm
Win or go
saying,
home.
why would you leave? Why would you leave and get less money? That doesn't make sense. I mean, why would
That's
you? He would just sign and just retire. They don't have to. If you got a 3-year contract, after year one, you could retire.
well, if it's an opt out, yeah. He wants to just decline his option.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, you retire and then you just won't get that other money.
I tell you this. That's why I would
I'll be
try to.
honest
That's
with
why I
you.
would try to trade Cam Johnson to Philly. Philly has those Clippers picks, especially one in 2028. If the Clippers break up their core soon, that would be a valuable pick for the Nets to have in this stash of assets. That's why I hope the
You
trade
know what I'm gonna
goes down.
say? You know what I'm gonna say, John?
Well,
If we know it as fans, you better believe the GMs know it as teams.
I'm telling you, that's what the 76ers
No, I'm
have in their
saying,
pocket is those
but
Clippers
I'm saying,
picks.
yeah. So they not worried. You know, they not worried. I think that we have a valuable pick to Philly in the 27 1 through 10.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if they
protected though. That
Yeah,
could be
no,
good or
no,
bad.
that's
I
protected.
know, but it'll be good for them if what's the name breaks down next year. If
Oh, right,
Embiid
right,
if
Well,
right.
Embiid breaks down, they'll be like, "Yo, you want your pickbacks
I don't
and you
really
can
think they
tank."
care about Embiid breaking down, bro. Like at this point, bro, they looking to see if they could get that injury retirement paper signed, bro. Like I don't know.
Damn, that would be
Well,
wild.
we'll see how. Well, speaking of which, if Embiid plays, if Embiid plays less than half the season, or more importantly, doesn't
Injury
play
retirement.
in the playoffs. No, I'm saying, where does Philly? How good is the Philly team with those other guys?
Not
They
enough.
all
They don't
right.
have a good front court. They don't have a good front court right now. Their front court's pretty weak. And you're already dealing with
I
two
mean,
major stars with injuries on that team. That's like nothing to work with besides Maxi.
I
They
put
got
it to you this way,
Maxie
but they got
McCain
Maxie
and
McCain, BJ, bro. And they figure out how to build the rest of the team, bro. I
yeah,
mean,
They
I
I
have
don't
don't.
a
think
they have
that's
a good young core. If I'm Philly, if this
I
don't
don't
work
think
out
that's
this
a
year,
second round
rebuild.
team.
They should rebuild this year if it don't work out. They got young pieces. They're at the position to do it. I don't
But
think this
that's
will
what
They
I'm
are
work.
at the
saying.
position to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. If Embiid, like, they go for it all this year, and then if Embiid fails, then if Embiid fails, then you tank the following year and you beg the Nets for your pick back because you're the
I,
only one that could get the most out of it, right? Because it's 1 through 10
I think
protected.
don't
Just
they got
like
another
the same way that we got our Houston picks back, they can
what
get
would they
their
give us
Philly
though for
pick
that
back
pick?
for
What would they
money.
give us though? The Clippers picks for their own pick?
don't they got another hold up, don't they got they pick 1 through 8 protected? Some shit like that for
We
next
got that
year?
pick,
We got it.
but that's for
How the hell how
2027
the hell the, how the hell do we get it?
for James Harden. That was one of the picks we got. We got one that became Royce O'Neal, and the other was the protected pick.
I don't
So
remember
that's
us
what I'm
getting
saying.
one,
So
bro.
that's what
Like,
I'm
I
saying.
gotta go look at that again.
So for the 26-27 season, that would, if Philly gets their pick back and they tank, then they can get who they want.
Right. Now in OKC as well. OKC and Philly have those Clippers picks, and if that thing breaks down in the next year and a half, those are such valuable assets that if I was trading a Velica Johnson away, I'd want to get one of those picks because that's such a valuable pick at this
And
point.
I think looking at that trade that you just said with Sexton, I think Sexton is a combo guard, so he's the perfect fit with Melo and Knuckle
Yeah,
because
I think he is.
so I think that definitely helps them. So
I think he definitely has a perfect fit with him.
now Nurkic on the other hand, he'll probably be moved again, right? Nurkic.
I think he
Nurkic
might
is
be
out.
bought out.
Nurkic
They
is
might buy
basically
him
out.
out.
Nurkic is basically out of the league, bro. Like
They
at
might
this
buy him
point, bro.
out.
Like
Yeah, I think they buy him
yeah,
out. He has no trade value.
buy him out. He out the league, bro. Like but buy his ass the ticket back home, bro. Something. Like
I actually think Walker Kessler is pretty good,
Walker Kessler. Yeah, Walker Kessler is all that.
but
I mean,
I guess
he did have a fall off, bro. Like, but he
yeah,
alright though. Like,
Man,
but I felt like they were underplaying him on purpose because they were tanking.
I mean, bro,
If
like
they
to
wanted
be
to win, If they wanted to win, Utah could have made the
I mean,
play-in.
bro, like to be tanking with a max player on your roster, bro, like that's nuts. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
nasty
with
work.
marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, like you tanking with a max player on your roster, bro. Like that's nasty, nasty work. I see why tanking don't work. I see why in this CBA tanking is getting disqualified. Whatchamacallit, stacking up a team doing it the LeBron way is getting disqualified, bro. It's
Yeah.
basically teams. It's basically teams to win the championships by luck, bro. Like
No,
that's
you
all it
know what
is,
it is,
bro.
you know what it is too. You see these trades, right? The Lomenzo for a core, and then you see today with Sexton for Nurkic. This is the new CBA rules. A lot of teams are not going to attach first or other important picks. They're going to try to do player swaps now, which makes you go, "Damn, that makes no sense." There should be at least a pick or two come, but that's the new CBA. You're not going to give your first round picks away unless it's for a superstar or a role player like a Caruso or somebody you know is going to help you win a title. Like
You give
that's a
away
huge change in the league right now with that with
the
trades.
Nah, but
It is.
Orlando gave up some picks for
Yeah,
Bane.
5 for Bane, man, because they think Bane's a third option to them, which I can understand the logic a little bit.
Listen, if
A little
I'm just
bit.
looking at the roster, I think Bane is a good fit. I just don't think Bane is the last piece to the puzzle on that team. I mean, Paolo, as good as Paolo is, as good as Franz
They
can
need a
be, as good
bench.
as
They need a bench.
Yeah, they
I
need a
think
bench,
that
but I like their starting
I
five.
think they
They got a
bench is
good starting
fine.
five.
I
They
think
got a
they
good
bench
starting
is fine.
five.
I just don't think that like they picked probably the right time to go for the gusto with Dame because it's three players in the Eastern Conference that got that's gonna be out with Achilles injuries. Tatum, Dame, and Halliburton. So I mean, like that's one of those. All right, we got a chance to do something type of things, bro. Like it
They,
is
they,
what it
they
is,
got a
bro.
good starting five. I would say the Magic are my front runner now. I like this starting five. You got Suggs to run point, solid defender. You got Desmond now to be a backcourt teammate. Then you got a great front court. You got Paulo, Franz, and Wendell Carter Jr. Really solid front court. Like they definitely are a team to look out for. I like their starting five. I think the bench, like
Yeah,
Elbel
they
said,
just
that
need a
will definitely
bench.
be a difference maker for their team.
Go look at that bench again, bro.
Who did they get in the draft? Who did they get in the draft?
They
They
got
Oh,
they would
They got Jace Richardson, which I thought was an odd move. I
they
thought they were
got
getting
Jace
who?
big.
Richardson, yeah. Jace
Who
Richardson.
Big.
that
Oh,
wasn't
They
odd.
would have
well, nah, he'll help.
they would have got Yang, bro, had they not gave up the damn pick.
Right.
Jace is a good pick for them because he a bucket,
Yeah, he
bro.
is.
He a
Yeah,
bucket.
I
he'll
thought they might
he'll.
want to get a big though, in case they don't re-sign Mo Wagner. Unless
They needed shooting. They didn't have shooting.
Yes,
They needed
yes.
shooting. So he's a
They
good
need
pick
They
for
to
them.
need.
listen. They
He's an
what they really
improvement
need to
over
do.
Cole Anthony. He's
Jet,
an improvement
he
over Cole
definitely
Anthony.
improvement over Cole Anthony and Jet Howard, who they won't even give no playing time to. Like
Hey,
Jet Howard is a marksman, bro. You better put that man out on the court.
Well, that's the same problem Cleveland got with him, Imani Bates. He a marksman and he's still in the G League. Like, yo.
I still don't understand the Lonzo Ball
Cleveland,
move.
no, that's not fair. Cleveland got a better roster though.
I
But
don't.
And they just got Lonzo.
he is a bucket though. I mean, he's a legit 3-point
Oh, so
bucket,
that
bro.
means Garland is on the block now.
He's been on the
They
block.
said Garland and Allen is on the block.
I doubt it if Garland is on the block, bro. Like I'm not going that far.
No,
Yeah.
he was.
Lonzo,
They talked about trading Garland and KD when the Cavs were interested in Kevin Durant. So Garland is on the block for the right price, and I think they have to make that move because now you have Garland and Lonzo, two really. I don't think they're not good defenders, especially Lonzo since his knee thing. Like you're really gonna have to compensate to boost up your wing position at that point by trading Garland.
Well, let me say this: I haven't seen Lonzo since he's been back, but before the injury, he was a good defender.
He was. He really was.
Before that injury, bro, like him and
So I
Caruso
haven't
was
seen
locking
him.
up,
So I
bro.
don't know.
Ain't gonna lie to
Maybe
you.
He ain't the same.
sometimes it takes longer to come back. You know?
No, he ain't the same.
But with him, bro, like it seemed like it's a chronic injury, bro. Like because
Yeah.
I ain't
That's a
gonna lie,
worry.
that whole family is crippled, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
It wasn't a chronic injury. They just
It was
ain't
a
do
freak
surgery
injury,
right. They ain't do the surgery right. They got the wrong.
They didn't have 3
surgery wrong
surgeries.
twice. Yeah, they did it wrong twice.
That's
So
crazy.
they had to redo what the first
How
doctor,
you
first
mess up the
surgeon did.
surgery
Listen,
twice, bro?
I
Like,
Yeah.
what the
I understand the Cavs want to get a cheaper guy because they couldn't retain Ty Jerome, but that's a huge gamble, Alonzo, because the Cavs have to win a title. Their money is tied up in 4 players right now, and I don't think Alonzo, I think, was that bench piece you thought you could need because his health, like Lee's saying, if he's
Yeah,
not
but
healthy, that's a bad move.
they didn't have a legit back. Again, these
Yeah,
backup point guards are serious. They didn't have one like he a floor general
yeah.
type. You know what I'm saying? He
And they
might not
never
be the
had a.
same, but he can still run point damn
Hey,
near
but
similar. He don't
I
move the
don't
they
same
got
like
though.
the.
hold up. Didn't they got Ty Jerome, who damn near won 6 Man of the Year?
He ain't
I
signed
don't.
back.
I don't.
He ain't
I
signed
don't
back
like
yet.
the.
No, he ain't signing back. He's walking. They re-signed Sam Merrill yesterday along with the Alonzo trade. They don't
Correct.
have the
I don't
money.
like. I don't like
They don't
their
have the money.
Oh,
moves.
that's why they went out and got him, bro. Okay.
Yeah,
I.
they re-signed
I don't.
Merrill.
I don't like
So
their
that
small
means so that
forwards.
means they going they small forwards is fine. They're gonna start DeAndre Hunter. They're
I'm
gonna
saying,
start
but
DeAndre Hunter.
he's good. He's a good. DeAndre Hunter is like this version of what's that dude we used to have under Kenny with
Caris
Under
LeVert.
Kenny.
no. I'm saying what's
Don't
his
say
name?
Rondé Hollis Jefferson, bro. Please don't say that.
No. I'm talking about the dude with the dreads. What is his
Hey,
name?
oh,
DeMar
look,
Carroll?
DeMar Carroll.
Huh?
DeMar
Yeah.
Carroll?
DeMar
He's
Carroll?
like that. Yeah, Hunter is like that,
Nah,
man.
he ain't
Come
nothing.
on.
Nah, he ain't nothing like that. No,
He
I'm not.
can't really score.
He
He
could
can
nah,
shoot,
he could score.
but he
He's just
can't.
told to defend, bro. Like that's the thing about it, bro. Like a lot of these players, bro. Like a lot of who
Yo,
they was, they can't be in the league, bro. Like
Hey,
no, but
that's
I'm
what a lot of
saying
people.
I
he
gotta go,
can't
guys. Great
score.
show. Great show. Be well, guys.
All right,
All
later,
right, man.
John.
All right, John.
I don't know. To me, he can't. To me, he can't score. You can't give him the ball and say, "Yo, go get me a bucket."
You can give him the ball and say, "Yo, go get me a bucket," because
Nah,
that's what he been. That's what he was doing in Atlanta.
nah, he wasn't doing that in Atlanta. He wouldn't
You
have been
talking about
gone.
Hunter?
Hunter,
Yeah, he can get you a
Yeah,
bucket. What you mean?
yeah, he could get you
uh,
a bucket, bro. He was doing that, bro.
What's the
When they
most
when
he
they had
averaged?
when they had camera when Trey Young was out, bro, and the ball moved around, bro, he was averaging close to 19 to 20 points.
Oh, I never seen that.
All of them games, bro, where Trey Young was out, bro, when it was DeJounte Murray, he was getting a
I
lot of
never
buckets.
seen that.
Well, all
I
right, well
never
go
seen that.
ahead,
Yeah,
go back
nah.
to the footage, bro.
Yeah, he can give you. He can play defense and he give you a bucket, bro.
I know he's a good overall player, and then the other dude don't give you nothing. What's his name? Dean Wade.
D Wade
Dean,
is fine, bro.
yeah,
Nah, D Wade is cool.
yeah, he do a little bit of stuff.
You
D
know
Wade
what
is
it
good off
is?
the bench, though.
See, you know what it is? You know what it is when you're not getting that much from Jared Allen, it's like it puts a lot of pressure on Mitchell. And that's why he was overlapping them, like sitting Mitchell and then playing Garland and sitting Garland. It's like he couldn't have both of them on the bench at the same
They need
time
some toughness
because
on
they
that
didn't have
team,
no
bro.
score.
Realistically,
They
they
didn't
they
have enough scoring.
they problem is not scoring. Their problem is toughness, bro. They need some muscle. They need some real muscle on their team. They need like a
So
no
you mean
nonsense player.
they need to trade Jared Allen, you're saying?
Jared Allen is on the trading block now. That's what they
Yeah.
said.
He
He on
damn
the trading
sure
block.
is. Jaron
And
Allen, bro, like when he retired, bro, he a school teacher for kindergarten somewhere, bro. Like he ain't
Yo,
nobody to take
yo,
seriously. Don't get me wrong. Nah, don't get me wrong. Jared Allen, bro, like a lot of potential from him as a 7-footer. He could block shots. He could finish at the basket. He definitely improved under being under Kenny once again this year, bro. And they won 60 something games. But the dude is not tough, bro, at all, bro. Like I don't look at nobody looks at Jared Allen and go, damn, bro, I gotta play him tonight, man. Shit, yeah. All right, hold on, let me get my rest, bro. Like nobody looks at that Cavaliers team and go, yo, damn, we gotta get some rest tonight, bro. Yo, we got the Cavs, bro. Come on. Ain't nobody looking at them like that, bro. That team,
well,
bro, like
nobody's gonna
they
think they can outscore you.
that's what they was doing all year. That's why they won 60 something games, bro. That's what they was doing all year. They were outscoring people. The problem
I feel
is
like
that
when they traded
the
when they made
problem
that
is the
Levert
mental.
trade, uh,
The problem is the mentality, bro. Like, and they
You know,
and the
you know
toughness,
what,
bro. That's
you
the
know
real
what that,
problem.
Levert trade was. Kenny never believed in Levert when he
No,
was
no.
on the Nets. When he was
That
on the
that Le-
Nets,
that Levert trade was Levert kept getting hurt, bro. He still had
Yeah,
health problems, bro.
yeah. And
Like, bro, what people got to remember about Levert when he got traded from us, nobody even know it, bro. He had a kidney stone,
yeah,
and
we
he had a season-ending injury, bro. It's just like the NBA life just wasn't good. The basketball gods wasn't good to that young man at all. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, how you get a season-ending injury, bro, and a kidney stone the very next year. That means, bro, God ain't on your
I
side when
think
it
it
comes to
was
this.
actually I think it was more serious than kidney stones. It was
I
something
think it
worse.
was too. It
It
was
was
something
something
worse.
worse.
It was something
I
worse, and
remember. I can't remember, but I remember it was something where they said if it wasn't detected, he would have died. And the
that's a fact.
only reason they checked it was because he had the mid-season physical.
That's a fact. That is a fact,
So,
bro. So, I mean,
but yeah, man. Like I said, looking at some of these trades, we're going to see.
we are definitely going to see.
So I
Def-
don't know, and then I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think the Magic, they just need, if they fortify their bench, they'll be good to go.
I think they bench is fine, bro. They got Anthony Black coming up. They still got Jonathan Isaac. You still got Batazi, bro. They got a good team, bro. Like, I think they should be fine. In terms of just making it work and the chemistry in the locker room and all that, bro, I think they'll be just fine. Like, you already got Desmond Bain, who I mean, he thinks he's something, man. He looked like a little Ninja Turtle, bro, to me, bro. I mean, but listen, but like they'll be
I
fine, bro.
remember, speaking of bringing people in. I remember when he came into the Nets. I remember
Who's that?
when Bain, when his draft came in, when he
Hmm.
came in and he shot the lights out for the Nets, and
y'all want Lonnie Walker back? They Philly declined his team option. He a free
who
agent.
said?
Lonnie
I
Walker.
could I could do
Oh
without
wow,
Lonnie Walker, bro. We still got to pay Cam Thomas, Dayron, and Zaire. So that's $45 million we got to make up. We ain't got no spot for him.
yeah, that's a mystery, man. Because I guess because when he was on Miami, he was doing his thing, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're about, what Miami is about. So
They
I
different,
don't know.
man.
Yeah,
Miami
so
different.
yeah,
Supposedly
because I
they trying to get Kaminga, but I don't know
oh,
what like Pat Riley.
that's where Wolf's teammate went.
Right.
That's
Golden. The
yeah,
Golden.
yeah.
and you put him there with Ware, that's pretty nice.
That's a fact.
Because Riley gonna let them. They're gonna be butchering the heck out of everybody.
That's a fact.
You ain't gonna be able to come down the middle for the Heat.
Hmm.
That's the strategy. That's why I keep saying.
Yeah,
That's why I asked that question about us. I know we got Dayron, and I know we got Claxton. Then you just got Danny, but Danny way different from them. But they don't provide the same as having, like, you know what I'm saying, Ware and Bam, and then they got Golden. Like that. That's not the
yeah,
same. That's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
everybody
Hmm.
team that they stacking these bigs, even though some of the bigs are different, but they stacking like real bigs, bro. You know what I'm saying? 7
yeah.
foot, 250 plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
We got.
really,
Go ahead.
because oh no, I was just gonna say because really, back in the day, Bam would have been a four, but he's a five because of his heart, because he'll go out and block everything, and he'll place people who are bigger than him, but and because he's athletically gifted, but really. Back in the day, he would have been playing the four against like McDice or Derek Coleman or something.
That's a
He wouldn't
fact.
even be playing center.
It just goes to show you how watered down this NBA is, bro. This is one of the reasons why I'm not stressing too much about the players that we pick. Because if you look
And
around the league, if you look around the East, hell, if you look around the league, bro, like anybody could come out.
I think like with Mobley. because Mobley actually is bigger than Allen. So
Mm-hmm.
really, I think Kenny probably wants Mobley to be the center, and that's why because Mobley is that center that Kenny always wanted. Remember when he used to put Allen back on the 3-point line in the corner, missing all them
Right.
three.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
he got that in Mobley. Mobley could down them. Mobley could hit them joints.
And Mobley could hit a few of those. He definitely improved, but my thing with Mobley is, do you want Mobley to be a long big in your paint, bro? Because I ain't gonna lie, Mobley kind of light in the ass, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. You can
Nah,
have
he's
your like
not. He's not. He's not, man. He's solid, man. He's solid.
Mobley can't move nobody around, bro.
No, but that's why I said about us. They have the same problem. They only got Mobley and they only got Allen, and the backup big is Tristan Thompson. You know what I'm saying? That's their backup big.
Yeah,
So
the
when you
grandfather.
look at the league, what everybody just did in the draft, especially with the young centers, Timberwolves got three. They got three centers again, and that's what I look at. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, and you stick with Daron and Claxton, then you go get Danny. Like I said, Danny could probably play
But who
both.
did Minnesota get again?
They got Behringer. They got Behringer, and they got Jordan Behringer, like young dude who just be dunking
Yeah, I know
everything.
him. I know him. I know
Yeah,
him.
and
He looked like he's like 10 years old, right, in the
yeah,
face.
yeah, they
But
got
he could.
somebody else there. I think they dropped it two centers.
Who got Niedenhausen?
Oh, the
Need
Clippers.
Hauser.
I think the Clippers got Niedenhausen
Yeah.
third.
The Clippers got they got him at
Because when we were
exactly
at
30,
the
bro.
because when we were at the draft, I was telling somebody next to me, I was saying,
This
"Yo,
nigga
he
name is
reminds me."
Yannick Conan Niedenhausen.
Yeah,
But he
third.
but he plays
Tough.
like the JaVale McGee, like he just dunks
Yes.
everything, and
Yep.
you know,
And he's quick. He's fast
pure
though.
app,
I
pure
think he
athlete.
had the
Yeah,
fastest time for centers at the combine.
and he might have had the highest one of them. It was something tall that he did too, either the highest reach or something.
The
I don't
highest
know.
reach, the highest standing reach,
Hold on, let me see. Who we talking about?
something like
I know
that.
he was up there for a lot of things because
Timberwolves.
everybody was like, "Who's
Mhm.
Niedenhouse?" And then when you see the name, and then you see, because I only seen him play once in college, but I was like, man, how'd he get a name like that?
And they got Ruko
Oh, Rico
Zakar.
Sikarsky, right?
Yeah, they got him too.
Yeah, and
Like I
he's
said,
7'3". He's
they
7'3",
stacking up
man.
on the big. So that's my like when I see that, I know what they trying to do. And then when I look at us, I be like, bro, what are you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we trying to do, bro? Because they going
It's
about it
it's
a
it's
different way.
smart though. It's smart though. You know why? Because when you're looking at it now, everyone should carry three centers like back in the day. Because what you're doing is because of the pace of the game. When you try to get away with only playing one center or two centers, what happens is they get tired. Then when they get tired, that's when they get into foul trouble.
Right.
So when you get all of these guys, you could bring these guys in, for a minute here, a minute there, and then
Offensively, bro, I think they're trying to go back to like less possessions. Like this is the fastest pace the NBA has been running, bro, since the '70s, bro. And I'll be honest with you, bro, it really ain't even a pace why niggas is getting hurt, bro. The real reason why niggas is getting hurt is because all the shit that they like to do with the basketball, hezzy tween, and you add that with all of the mileage, with just as opposed to running north and south and side to side and lateral quickness,
and
bro. Like,
and
of course you're gonna
and
get.
and the step back is not a natural move. That's something where
I
cause I
messed up
remember,
my foot. Yo, I got foot injuries, bro. I got a foot injury. I never got looked at, bro, for doing step backs too much, bro. Like, and
yeah,
I
because
know I did.
I had a kid, man, I was teaching eighth grade, and this had to be like 2016 or 2017, and he was showing me how to do the step back. When he was showing me, I was like, man, I'll break both of my ankles trying to do that, man.
Exactly.
Because he was a
And
big Harden fan. That was like when Harden was in his MVP type years.
right,
And I
right.
was like, man, I mean, it's a good move, But
I'm like, yo,
man,
you do that move for 10 years straight, bro. Like, yo, your
yeah.
foot is gonna be ruined, bro. And
And you
they
know
told
what?
me mine.
And you, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did that move in the park. I did that move in Marine Park a lot on ground because we
Yeah.
ain't have enough money to play in the gym, bro. So I did that on ground, and I used to step like the way I did a step back. I would protect the ball and do a hard step back, and I would match my foot. Like if somebody was taller than me, because I'm obviously like I got height discrepancy, bro. Like so, somebody I always had somebody taller than me on me, bro. Like, and I
Yeah.
would do that over taller defenders just to try to gain space, bro. Because I see what foot you like to lead with defensively, bro. And I use my dominant foot to get the step back and then shoot the shot. And I used to practice that shit all the time. And
All
I
right,
didn't realize how much my feet was hurting, bro. Like until after the game was over.
height discrepancy now. Us 5'10" guys, we are tall. You know what I mean? People don't look at us, but we are
Nigga said us
definitely
five.
tall. The
Nigga said
average
us
height,
5'10" guys are
yeah,
tall.
the average height is 5'9". You know what I'm saying? We are
Yeah.
above average height,
For
bro.
US men, yeah. For
Yeah,
US
you know what I'm
men,
saying?
it's
We gotta take that and stride with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I said no. The reason why I said height discrepancy because not like me being 5'9", 5'10", I was usually out on the court, bro. Like, and I was spaced, and they would have 6'3" or 6'4" niggas guard me,
Yeah,
yeah.
like almost all of.
those are the way above average. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I was like, and I used to see these, bro. Yo, I remember one time I got real frustrated because I hit like 3 shots in a row, and I was when I was playing the park game, I was just running park. I hit 3 shots in a row. The kid that was guarding me, he was about 6'1" something. I scored him. They put a dude on me that was like 6'5", 6'6", jumping dumb high, windmill and shit, bro. I'm like, all right, bro, okay. So I
But
scored
you
on them. I scored on them 2 times in a row, and then they said, "All right, bro, like yo, we just going to deny ball." So I'm like, all right, now I got to run around, man, because my foot is damaged because I scored on them with the same step back move. I used to
yeah.
plant my I used to plant my foot and then go back, or plant my foot and then go side, or sometimes diagonal or side and shit, bro. Like, and I used to always do it like on the other foot. Once I figured out how to do it on the left foot, it hurt even more because I'm not used to planting with my left foot. So if you're not used to planting with a certain foot, it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt excruciatingly, bro. Like,
Especially when you see how hard they do it. Because I was
yes,
watching somebody, I think it was Gilbert Arenas or some it was somebody, I know it was a guard. And he had
Kemba
said,
Walker.
actually, but he was no, it wasn't Kimba, but it was someone where he was like a podcast, and he said, actually, the reason why the step back covers it up when you don't have a quick first step. He said that's why you see so many dudes doing it, even white
Yes,
guys, because
yes,
because it's when you can't just blow by someone, that's what the step back is for. And then I started looking at it differently. He's like, and I'm like, you're right. All of these
that's
dudes
a
is
fact.
using it to create that space because they
Right,
can't just blow by someone, you
right,
know?
right. And that
And
was
then
my
and
thing,
then
bro. Like,
if you got both, like, if you got both, like, you quick plus you got the step back, it's like, man, you're gonna have like 6 feet between you and him.
yeah, basically, like, so I knew, dude, like most of the dudes that I grew up with that was quick and had that first step, they could finish at the basket. They couldn't shoot. I let them open.
Yeah.
Nobody left me open, bro. I was just like, all right, bro. Like the shot used to get everything open for me. So like I hit like 2 or 3 shots, they send somebody out there. If I hit over somebody, they send somebody taller, bro. And if I hit over them, they send a double team. They send help. So it was basically I had to graduate to like different defenses, bro. Like on the court, bro. I was like, oh shit, these niggas got a 6'6" nigga on me, bro. Oh, y'all I'm cooked. I'm like, yo, I'm done. But yeah, bro. But like not like 90% of the shit that hurt me like badly is because I did it in the park. I didn't do it in a gym or in like a rec center or nothing like that. I did that shit in the park. And you know anything about us Brooklynites, bro? Like we play so much in the park and so much on the concrete. Like and a lot of us don't have health insurance, bro. So when we fuck our foot up, bro, that's it. That's
But
you
you
know what
know
I'm
what?
saying?
That's what. But you know what? I just seen a thread on X about that. Like it was like what LeBron was talking about. But then, like where he was talking about, playing for the chip or this and that, and whatever. And then it led to a longer conversation where I was saying, because I said, to me, the difference, because I'm watching the U19 World Cup right now, and the difference
Mhm.
between a lot of the younger guys and even the younger guys in the NBA is they don't play in the park.
Right,
They so used to being playing organized ball. They so
right.
used to everybody reffing their games. And like
Hmm.
because when you was a kid, when you was freaking 12 years old, you playing against grown men if you wanted to get on the court. They're like, sure, do
That's
you
a
want to
fact.
play? So
Yep.
they don't play like that no more. They all play, they all get to play, and they all get to play, and all the games are ref. So they're not used to that physical they're not used to that physical type of game, and that hurts them. That hurts them in the long run
Right.
because that's how you get better. Take a guy like Jason Kidd. Since he
Hmm.
was probably 10 or 12 years old, he was playing against men, and
Right.
and they were fouling the heck out of him. So he had
And
to
yeah,
learn
yeah,
how to.
and yeah, he talked about the first time he met Gary Payton when he was
Yeah, and
out in
his
Cali
pops. Yeah,
yeah, in his pops. So they was like, yeah, come on, bro, you playing, you on the court, come on. And he went out there, bro, and he realized, bro, like a lot of the shit that he was doing, like in high school, in school, when he's playing, he couldn't do out on the court because they was out there, bro, like guarding him 4 feet, full length of the court. And that's how the old heads, bro, like used to do it, especially back in the '90s, bro. I remember I had like you could score on one of them, bro, like you got to respect that you won it, bro. Like, I mean, obviously, but at the same time, bro, like they had to take you seriously, bro. Like, cause I mean, me being like what single digits for most of the '90s, bro, like getting out on the court with grown ass men in their 20s, 30s, and shit. It was like literally moving me around easy, bro. I'm barely 100, 120, 110 pounds and shit. They just moving me around. I'm like, all right, I got to get in the passing lane. I got to pass lane. So I had to just find out ways to get around and move in the passing lanes and shit, like to play defense. Because if they put me in a post, that shit was a wrap. So like it was
but
over
that's
with.
but even like with my all time favorite player Hakeem,
Right.
when he got off the plane from Houston, right?
Hmm.
When he got off the plane from Houston, he probably was like 210. They used
Right.
to call him. I remember Sports Illustrated when they were first talking about him as a freshman. They said they tried to use the name Jelly Bean, like Elijah Wan. Like Jelly
Oh wow.
Bean, like
Right.
same like Jelly Bean Bryant, like Kobe's
Right.
dad. But they try to
Yeah.
say because he was skinny and this and that. But the thing
Uh-huh.
was, he went in that Houston Rec Center, and what's the name showed up all the time. Moses Malone, who was
Moses
playing for the
Malone. Yeah.
Rockets. And that's
Yeah.
how he got better. He got better in the post from all of that. That's where he
Right.
got his toughness and his finesse. And
All
that's what I'm saying. They got to play against. So a lot of these guys, they don't know what it's like to play against guys. And a lot of it also is they don't know what it's like to play against hungry guys.
right, fellas. Let me
That's a
close
fact.
out. Let me close
All
out.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna
Y'all
wrap it up
know.
too, bro. Let me
Yeah.
get on. Let me
Appreciate
get
it.
about it.
Appreciate it, brothers.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna chop it up again, and hopefully, summer league is what, the 10th, right?
Yep. The 10th.
Oh
And
yeah,
thanks
that's the
for
day
letting.
before. That's the day before I leave. So like, I gotta I try to lock up some of the games because I've been slacking on the damn WNBA concept for a reason, bro. Like, and that shit getting a little bit, it's getting a little bit out of line over there. So I'm gonna be back probably momentarily, but I'm gonna see what's cracking, man. Appreciate it though. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Y'all know
Yeah,
that.
Appreciate it,
definitely.
L.
Y'all don't have to
All
like.
right.
Y'all don't have to subscribe because I don't know anything. You heard? I'm out.
Yeah. All right. Peace.
All right.